Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream as the first League Cup semi-final saw Chelsea progress through to Wembley. Tonight we will see if it will be a London affair with Fulham or will it be North against South with Liverpool taking the victory. In the first leg at Anfield, Fulham took an early lead through Willian in the 19th minute, but second half changes from Klopp spun the game on its head, with Nunez providing both assists for the goals scored by Jones and other substitute Cody Gakpo to complete a comeback to give Liverpool a lead going into this second leg. Fulham last played 11 days ago at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. It was a 1-0 defeat, which leaves them 13th in the Premier League table. But Marco Silva has already become the first Fulham boss to guide the club to a League Cup semi-final. Could he make further history and get them to their first ever League Cup final and their first domestic cup final in England since 1975? For Liverpool, they are currently on a win of 5 in a row in all competitions and are still top of the Premier League after their 4-0 win at the weekend to Bournemouth. This is the 76th meeting between the two, and it's the first game between these two at Craven Cottage since August 2022, with the last 3 games being played at Anfield between these two teams. So, for that final spot at Wembley, will it be Fulham or Liverpool to take on Chelsea for the League Cup? It should be a very interesting game tonight. This is one of Fulham's biggest games in their history, really. They have never won a major trophy. They've won 5 trophies in their history, 3 second-tier titles, the last in 2022 when they were promoted by under Marco Silva, and then they've got 2 third-tier titles, their last coming in 1999. So they've actually never won a major trophy. So to reach, like I say, another final, they've reached 2 major finals in their history. The first was in the FA Cup in 1975, and most recently they also reached the Europa League final under Roy Hodgson in 2010. So this will be one of Fulham's biggest nights in their history if they can win and get through. It'd be one of the biggest days in their history because of who they will have to beat to get to the final. You know, beating this Liverpool side under Jurgen Klopp, who are on fire at the moment, would be a terrific achievement. And to also reach a League Cup final, something they've never done before. As mentioned before, they've never even reached the semi-finals of this competition before this season. So this is a huge night for Fulham, and I kind of got the vibe from that, just checking their social media page, and you just get the sense that for a club like Fulham, this is absolutely huge, and this is a chance that they don't want to let go to waste. They know they've got such a big task on their hand against Liverpool, but they've got home advantage. There's just a goal in it, and then when they go to the final, they play Chelsea. You know, Chelsea are only 9th in the league, and you know, for Fulham, there is definitely much harder teams they could face in the final, and if they can get past Liverpool to play Chelsea, they'll think, well, if we can beat Liverpool, then we can most certainly beat Chelsea in the final. So this is a huge opportunity for Fulham. They have gone toe-to-toe with Liverpool in all of their recent meetings. The first leg was only 2-1. The game before that, in the Premier League this season in early December, that was 4-3 Liverpool. Again, just 1 goal in it. Game before that, at the back end of last season at Anfield, that was just a 1-0 win for Liverpool on a Salah penalty. The last meeting between these two at Craven Cottage, which was the opening game of the Premier League season for last season back in August 2022, that was a 2-2 draw. So meetings between these two sides, when it's been Marco Silva and Jurgen Klopp, they've been very close. And I think even though Fulham haven't come out on top in any of those games, you know, the fact that they have took it so close against Liverpool will give them confidence that they could change it tonight and they can go and get that victory, which obviously they'll need. A draw isn't good enough. They need to at least win to take it. I think it's straight to penalties. It has been for the previous rounds, and I'm presuming it'll be the same for the semi-finals. And I just believe that Fulham don't want this opportunity to go to waste. A first cup final in England since 1975. Like I said, they've never won a Premier League, they've never won a First Division title, they've never won a League Cup, an FA Cup. So it is to get a first bit of major silverware in the trophy cabinet, founded in 1879. I think, if I'm right in saying that, they are the oldest London football club. I do believe, I could be wrong there, but I think I read that somewhere, that they are one of the first clubs founded in London. So much history, but just a lack of silverware, and that could change tonight in terms of getting to a final, and then who knows what could happen from then until the final. Yeah, no major trophy for Fulham in their 145-year history, which seems absolutely crazy. But they have got a good home record at the moment. Fulham, a really good home record. They have won 5 of their last 6 at home, and the defeat in those 6 was to Burnley on the 23rd of December. So they are in great form at the moment at home. They've got 4 wins in their last 5 in the Premier League at Craven Cottage. So it is a huge opportunity for Fulham. They come into this game in great home form. Liverpool are going into this game 5 wins in a row, 8 unbeaten at the moment in all competitions for Liverpool, who have played home in every other League Cup game so far this season. In the 3rd round, they were able to beat Leicester 3-1. 4th round, actually, no, they played Bournemouth away, didn't they, in the 4th round? I do apologise. They did play Bournemouth away in the 4th round, then back at home in the quarterfinals to West Ham 5-1, and then obviously the first leg was also at home as well. So, huge night. Massive banner at the back of the Fulham ground there saying "Dare to Dream," with loads of flags out, black and white. It looks like a very good atmosphere, and I'm sure it'll be absolutely electric tonight at Craven Cottage. Just under 30,000 now it can hold with that brand new stand that they've been building for the last couple of years. And we're going to go through both lineups now, as you can see them on screen. And for Fulham, it is just the one change from the first leg, and it is going to remain Bernd Leno in goal, who's only got 1 win against Liverpool in his previous 9 against them. That did come in the League Cup for Arsenal back in the 4th round in 2020. A 2 centre-back pairing of Tosin Adarabioyo, who's making appearance 120 for Fulham, and he'll play alongside Issa Diop, who has been out for 2 months this season with a foot injury from October to December, but he has since returned in January to start alongside Tosin Adarabioyo, and at left-back is going to be former Everton Academy product Anthony Robinson. 2 holding midfielders, it's going to be João Palhinha, and the one change from the first leg, Harrison Reed drops to the bench, and Tom Kearney comes in, the club captain. He has got the 1 goal so far this season in the League Cup, and it came away from home in the 4th round to Ipswich. 3 behind the striker on the right is going to be Bobby De Cordova-Reid, who's making his 4th start in the League Cup so far this season. On the left is going to be Willian, who scored the goal on his 50th Fulham appearance to give the away side at the time the lead at Anfield, but obviously that didn't last throughout the whole game. They were pegged back, but he did score that goal in the first leg for Fulham, and leading the line is Raul Jimenez, and behind him is going to be Andreas Pereira, who's got 1 League Cup goal in his career, and that came when he was playing for Manchester United. Liverpool starting 11, they make 3 changes from the first leg. Queven Kelleher remains in goal. Conor Bradley also remains at right back. A change at the centre-backs. Jarrell Quansah comes in for Ibrahima Konate. He'll play alongside Virgil van Dijk, and Joe Gomez, who's still yet to score for Liverpool, remains in the side at left back. 3 in the midfield. It's going to be Alexis McAllister playing the deeper role. His only goal for Liverpool so far came against Fulham in the 4-3 win in December in the Premier League. 2 in front of him are going to be Ryan Gravenberch, who was signed from Bayern Munich, and former Fulham player Harvey Elliott instead plays in the midfield this time round, as he was played in a winger position in the first leg. Front 3 on the right is going to be Luis Diaz, who's making his 75th appearance for Liverpool. On the left is going to be Darwin Núñez, who came off the bench in the first leg and provided 2 assists for Liverpool's 2 goals, and leading the line up front, Cody Gakpo, who has scored in every single round so far this season. He has got 4 goals in 4 League Cup games, with 3 starts coming against Leicester, Bournemouth and West Ham, and he was also one who came off the bench with Darwin Núñez last week and made a huge change. 2 goals in 3 minutes for Liverpool 2 weeks ago when they last met. Curtis Jones in the 68th minute and Cody Gakpo in the 71st. And Liverpool did dominate the shots that game. 21 shots they had to Fulham's 6. And it'll be interesting to see how the stats come out for this game, because obviously Fulham are at home, so they might be a little bit more front-footed than they would be if they were to play at Anfield again, because every team who goes to Anfield have realised that they have to just be a little bit cautious. They can't be too aggressive how they play, because we know Liverpool can just pick that apart. So it'll be interesting how both teams go into this game, especially Fulham, What mentality will they have? They know they've got to score a goal, but you don't want to go at it too quickly and leave yourself exposed at the back. So I think this will be a really interesting game, and hopefully it'll be a lot closer than it was in yesterday's semi-final. I won't be able to watch. I have to do family stuff. I'll watch the replay. Have a great show. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Everyone who is here, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. As we're about to get underway, referee tonight is Simon Hooper, the 41-year-old who was in charge of Liverpool's game against Spurs earlier on in the season. You might remember Liverpool's only loss so far in the league this season, and it's Liverpool to kick us off, kicking right to left, Fulham left to right. Adebayo heads away a Liverpool clearance up the field, and it goes out for a throw-in for the away side. Inside the Fulham half on this near side with Joe Gomez, throws it down the line, headed away again by Adebayo, as it was about to reach the Colombian winger of Luis Diaz. And it's now with Gravenberch, who goes down under the challenge of Palhinha, and the free kick's been given by the referee Simon Hooper. Just got his body in front of Palhinha there, Gravenberch, which ignited the contact and won Liverpool the free kick on their left-hand side. It's very wide, so it will be an opportunity for a cross for Liverpool. They've got an in-swinging option of McAllister or an out-swinging option of Elliott, formerly of Fulham. Who will it be to deliver the cross? It is Harvey Elliott into the 18-yard box. He's flicked on by Diaz. Can't quite reach Darwin Núñez, just a bit too far in front of him to get onto the ball there. It's gone through for a goal kick. Not a bad ball there from Harvey Elliott. Had the pace and the whip and was helped on by Diaz. But as mentioned there, just a little bit too powerful for Núñez to get onto it at the far post. And it can be seen behind for a goal kick by Bernd Leno, who will take it deep into the Liverpool half. Flicked on by Jimenez towards Willian. Just goes behind the Brazilian, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side for Liverpool with right back Conor Bradley to take. Making his 12th Liverpool appearance in his career. 7 of them have come this season. 2 starts now in the League Cup, both in the semi-finals against Fulham. As it's McAllister's played forward towards Gravenberch, cut out by Palhinha. Kearney, loose touch, gives it to Conor Bradley on the halfway line, plays it forward here for Gravenberch. He's got space to run into, and then plays it out wide left to Diaz. Enters the area, plays it through for Darwin Núñez on the angle towards the byline, slows it down. He's got Adebayo in front of him. Núñez just goes back here to Gomez, who will swing in across with his right foot. Can't go behind Robinson. He'll head it straight into Elliott, who volleys, and it comes off the back of his leg, and Willian can clear it away only as far as McAllister, who allows Gakpo to take over on the Liverpool right, through to Elliott, lifts it into the area, can't find the runner Gakpo, and it will be into the hands of Leno. And it remains Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. The away side definitely have started the better, with some early chances. A few crosses in the box, but they're yet to test Bernd Leno. As the last time Fulham came out victorious against Liverpool at Craven Cottage was back in December 2011. Clint Dempsey winner in the 85th minute after a Pepe Reina mistake. So they've not had much success. They have gone 5 now without a win at home to Liverpool. As a throw in towards McAllister. Just about gets there ahead of Willian, but then Elliott's tackled by Andres Pereira in the centre circle. And it's now with Issa Diop out to the left back. Robinson on halfway. Goes inside towards Kearney, picked up by Gakpo, who can get away from Robinson, but not Issa Diop. Good strong challenge from the Frenchman, who gets beyond Gravenberch. And then his pass is loose as well, straight to Luis Diaz, who'll burst down the left-hand side. He's got Núñez in support. He'll play it to the Uruguayan, who keeps himself away here from Palhinha, and plays a ball to his right to Gravenberch. As we're midway side the Fulham half with Alexis McAllister. Then across the right centre-back, Quansah, who's back in today. Van Dijk and Konate have been very strong at the back for Liverpool, but Klopp decided to bring in the young 20-year-old centre-half, the current England under-21 international, Jarrell Quansah. As a switch ball out to the left towards Diaz, goes out of play, just hit behind him there by Quansah, and it's a throw-in for Fulham with Timothy Castagne to take it, the former Leicester player, who signed a 4-year contract at Fulham in the summer. As a poor touch from Raul Jimenez gives the ball back to Liverpool. It's with Van Dijk, who enters the Fulham half, sprays it out to the left wing, where it'll be Luis Diaz to control it beautifully with his chest. Plays a ball to Núñez, who returns it to the Colombian Diaz, driving inside onto his right foot. Looking out to the full-back of Bradley, who's got forward. It's a great ball to him. On the byline, he can work across, which is just slightly overhit and just a bit too high as well. And it goes through to the opposite side for a throw-in for Liverpool. He was left alone out wide there, Conor Bradley, and he was found superbly there by Luis Diaz, but the final cross just wasn't good enough there by the Northern Irish right-back, who's currently covering for the injured Alexander-Arnold, who's been out for the last couple of games. As Gravenberch nearly takes it off Palhinha, poked away by Adarabioyo, and then it drops to Jimenez, who works it out to the left here to Robinson. They want to burst into the Liverpool half, and they do with that pass, which is short, and it's collected by Harvey Elliott. It's now with McAllister, shrugs away from Pereira, and goes to his left to Gravenberch, who's only ever looking forward. He does play it backwards, though, that time to McAllister, who then forces it out wide left to Gomez, who's been forced midway inside his own half of a pass to Van Dijk. Then backwards once more to the goalkeeper Kelleher, who was in goal for that League Cup victory in 2022 against Chelsea. We could have a repeat of that final if the away side go through tonight. Kelleher clears it long. Adarabioyo wins the header on Nunez, volleyed by Van Dijk, controlled by Diaz. Plays it through and down the left flank for Nunez in the final third. He's one-on-one with Adarabioyo. He enters the area onto his right foot. He strikes it towards the near post. Takes a slight nick off Castagna, and it slows the pace of the shot down, so it's an easy save at the near post in the end for Leno, the former Arsenal goalkeeper. Good play from Diaz and Nunez. They've linked up a couple of times in the opening 6 minutes down this left-hand side, but the shot had the sting taken out of it through that block by Castagna. It's Jimenez, chests it away from Quansah and goes into the midfield to Kearney, lifts it out to Robinson, nods it down the line. Can't find Willian. Touch off Bradley, falls to Jimenez. He'll run across the field here and switch it out to the right-hand side. It's a beautiful ball, and it'll be controlled by Cordova-Reid. He's got the overlap of Castagna. He plays it to Pereira, who then finds Castagna, who will go towards the near post, and it had to be touched behind there by Kelleher, who was almost caught out at his near post, but he made sure that instead of conceding a goal, he conceded the corner. Good run from Castagna at right back. I thought he was going to be played in by Cordova-Reid, but he went inside to Pereira, who then went back outside with his pass to the right back of Castagna, who did try and catch out Kelleher at the near post, but the Irish goalkeeper was equal to it, but he has conceded the corner. Outswinger, free volley in the box, and Palhinha sends it over the bar. That's a big chance. It's Fulham's first attempt at goal. I'd more put that Castagna ball in as a cross more than a shot. And on the penalty spot, all alone, whose job is it to mark Palhinha, who's an outswinger from Pereira? And Palhinha just on his own, right-footed volley, he's got to be at least working the goalkeeper. It's a free attempt at goal over the bar, but there's got to be question marks over Liverpool's marking. I don't know who on earth's picking up Palhinha. He's all on his own, and he should have really done better there. But the game remains 0-0, and for me, that's the biggest chance of the game so far, and it has fell to the home side, who are probably thankful that the first leg was away from home and they can go into this game, at Craven Cottage, because away from home this season, Fulham have been absolutely shocking. They've only won the one game so far in the Premier League away from home. They have got 0 wins in their last 10 on their travels in the league, 5 losses in a row at the moment to Chelsea, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Liverpool and Aston Villa. So on their travels, they've really struggled, but at home they've been strong, so they'll be glad that they can play this game at home with the disadvantage of the 1-goal deficit. It's Castagna's ball down the right-hand side, can't quite find Jimenez, and it'll be Jarrell Quansah on the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box, being pressed here by Pereira, turns away from the Brazilian and goes to his left here to Van Dijk in the defensive third. It's now with Kelleher in the 18-yard box for Liverpool. It's now with Quansah once again, Liverpool's number 78, who spent back end of last season, on loan in League One with Bristol Rovers. And now he's being used pretty regularly under Jurgen Klopp this season as a first-team centre-back. Obviously, he's had to be used slightly more often due to the ACL injury picked up by Joel Matip. Gravenberch tries a 1-2 with Nunez, tackled by Adarabioyo, Palhinha to Pereira, now finds Kearney, Willian's on the far side, he's got Robinson bombing ahead of him and he'll find the American who will cross it and it's tipped away by Kelleher. Needed to be dealt with by the goalkeeper because Cordova-Reid was there to put the ball home from a couple of yards out. Nunez pickpocketed by Adebayo, and then Fulham worked it out wide to Willian, who played the ball early to Robinson, who was overlapping, and the cross had pace, and it was at a decent height for Kelleher to just palm away. As the ball goes out for another throw-in on this near side for Fulham. Just under 10 minutes in. Still 0-0. And we haven't had a 0-0 since April 2010 between these two. That was 17 games ago. And a 0-0 isn't good enough for Fulham. They need goals. Palhinha in the corner of the box. Crosses towards the far post. Headed away by Quansah. Helped on by Gakpo. Tossing Adebayo, challenged late there by the centre-back. And that'll be a free kick for Liverpool. It's an 8-hour round trip for the away team tonight on the roads. As that Robinson cross was going straight towards Deckard over Reed. Good touch away by Queevy and Kelleher. As it's with Robinson at left back for Fulham. His ball forward deflects off the stomach of Kearney, and then it goes back to Robinson, who clears up the field, but you can't find Jimenez. Goes straight through into the Liverpool half here for Virgil van Dijk, who's making appearance number 245 tonight for Liverpool. Diaz controls it away from Castagne. Diaz onto his right foot, strikes it to the near post, and in it goes for Liverpool. They have a 2-goal cushion now. I believe the shot took a deflection, which made it harder for Leno to save, and he pushed it onto the post and into the back of the net. And after having a couple of chances there, Fulham putting pressure on the Liverpool goal, they've conceded instead at the other end. And it's Luis Diaz with the goal. He hasn't scored in his last 10 in the Premier League. This is his 7th of the season. It's his first ever goal in this competition. And it's a finish which started with a great ball out wide by Quansah to find Diaz in the final third. He got up above Castagne, sent him to the ground, and brought the ball down with a good chested touch. And he drove into the area onto his right foot, had the shot which deflected off Palhinha towards goal, where Leno got a right hand to it, onto the post and into the back of the net. And at Craven Cottage here, it's Fulham 0, Liverpool 1, and that's a huge step forward towards the final for Jurgen Klopp. All in all, if you look at the opening 12 minutes of this game, Liverpool have looked the better side, especially going forward. I know Fulham had those last couple of minutes where they were putting some pressure on Liverpool, but before that, Liverpool were working some little openings themselves. As we're getting a delay to the restart, as there's been a red flare put onto the field by the away supporters on the right-hand side of the stadium. So Luis Diaz gets his first goal ever in the League Cup. He's usually rested, Diaz, when Liverpool have previously been in this competition. He did play 97 minutes in the final, almost 2 years ago now against Chelsea. As that flare is being taken away. And we can get back underway. It's a huge mountain now for Fulham to climb. But what a night it could be if Fulham can somehow turn this one around. But when Liverpool have scored this season first, they haven't lost. 17 games they've scored first in. They've won 16 of them. Jimenez flicks it on towards Pereira in the area. Goes straight through for Kelleher. And it'll be Liverpool on the ball. So currently 5 wins in a row, Liverpool, in all competitions. They've been unbeaten in their last 8. Their last loss came in the Europa League back on the 14th of December. They've really hit a bit of form, Liverpool, as Joe Gomez down the left-hand side enters the Fulham half, tackled strongly by Palhinha. That'll be a throw-in for Liverpool to take. So Joe Gomez with the ball in his hands. Throws it down the line, looking for Diaz. Heads it into the 18-yard box where it'll be Diop to deal with it. Clears it down the Fulham right. touch off Gomez, loops into the air, headed by Gravenberch. Nodded down by Gomez, flicked away by Pereira. Through to Quansah in the Liverpool half, where he'll play it backwards, will it? He wants to, but he'll turn it away instead to away from Jimenez, and then eventually goes back to Kelleher in the 18-yard box. Who will switch it out to the right-hand side, asking too much of Bradley, goes ahead of the Northern Irish fullback. Then it'll be a throw in for Fulham, taken quickly. 1-2 between Willian and Robinson. Given away by the American fullback, intercepted by Elliott. It's now Bradley at right back for Liverpool. Plays it forward to Elliott, then backwards to McAllister. It's now with goalkeeper Kelleher. Clears it first time. As it goes into the sky. Header away by Adarabioyo on the halfway line. Controlled by McAllister. Very calmly done by the Argentine World Cup winner. It's now out on the near side to Luis Diaz, exactly on the halfway line. Turns away from Castagne. And goes backwards here to Van Dijk. And then on once more to Kelleher. Currently has 10 appearances for Ireland. Caoimhín Kelleher, 5 clean sheets, but he is in constant competition with Gavin Bazunu, who's currently the Southampton goalkeeper for that number 1 spot for Ireland. Obviously, Bazunu's got the argument that he plays more regularly. Kelleher only plays the cup competitions usually for Liverpool. As in the final third, it's Conor Bradley for Liverpool. He's got the overlap of Elliott. He uses Gakpo to find him. Harvey Elliott in the area. Cuts it back towards Gravenberch. Can't find him. Dealt with by Kearney. Helped forward by Quansah as he gets the ball away from Jimenez. Now Gakpo 25 yards out. Tackled by Kearney. The Scotsman goes over the challenge of Gakpo, and that'll be a free kick for Fulham. Which they want to take quickly, but they've took it too far forward. So he'll have to be retaken by Issa Diop, who goes back now to Leno in the 18-yard box, being closed down by Nunez. Finds Adarabioyo, who's looking for a pass forward. He'll dribble forward himself away from Nunez. Looking for a ball. He'll switch out to the left here to Anthony Robinson. And then forward to Willian. Finds Kearney. Back to Robinson. About 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. It's now with number 26, João Palhinha. Goes for a ball forward. It's a high one and into the 18-yard box, but no one made the run towards it, so it's gone straight through for Kelleher. Bit of a waste there by João Palhinha, who has yet to beat Liverpool in his previous 4 games against them. Does have the 2 goals so far this season, João Palhinha in the league. None of them at home, both away against Arsenal and Brighton. This is Gravenberch. This near side's Gomez. Enters the Fulham half. Looking for his options here. Liverpool's number 2. Goes backwards here to Gravenberch. Now Van Dijk sees a switch. In behind to the right-hand side. Nodded down by Robinson. It'll be collected here by Nunez, who finds Alexis McAllister. Bradley, again, getting forward from right back. McAllister to Elliott. It's now Bradley again, falls backwards towards the halfway line to Quansah. And then squares a pass to his left there to Van Dijk. It's now Diaz. 1-on-1 with Castagne. Keeps the ball. Playing it backwards to Gomez. Only reached the 4th round last season, Liverpool. But were beaten by Manchester City, so you can excuse the early exit for Liverpool. But then the season before that, they won it against Chelsea. But the season before that win against Chelsea, they were also knocked out in the 4th round the year before, so it could have a copy of that, because obviously last season they were also knocked out in the 4th round. But just the 2 finals under Klopp in the League Cup. Their first was in 2016, where they were beaten on penalties by Manchester City, and then they won the second one on penalties to Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel. As Liverpool still have possession in the Fulham half. It's with Harvey Elliott, who's just drifted out to this left-hand side. It's now with Gomez. Into the centre circle now with Quansah. Bradley keeps the ball away from Robinson. Plays a pass inside to Elliott. It's now with McAllister. Midway inside the Fulham half. He's going to spray the ball out wide to the left-hand side to Gravenberch. Pass forward to Nunez. Touch gets away from him. Tackled by Adarabioyo. Palhinha tries to play a pass forward to Jimenez. Cut out by Quansah, who will drive forward with the ball and switch out to the left to Diaz. Good centre-back play there from Quansah as Diaz overhits a touch. Got the ball taken off him there by Decord over Reed, and Fulham can clear it up the field, but again, can't find Jimenez. Dealt with by Van Dijk. Something they needed to do more of in the first leg. Find Jimenez. Too many times they're giving it away and just giving it straight back to Liverpool. Something they can't be doing. But Jurgen Klopp has only ever lost once against Fulham in his previous 8 games against them. It's Diaz. Tries to nod a ball through towards Gravenberch at the far post, but just goes out of play. Goal kick for Fulham. I think it was a ball into the box there by Van Dijk. Tried to go a little bit more route one there, the Dutchman. Went for the ball in behind. It was a good ball, straight onto Nunez's head. And as he headed it across goal, it couldn't quite reach Gravenberch. But yeah, just the one defeat for Jurgen Klopp against Fulham. That was at Anfield in March 2021 during the COVID era, where you might remember Liverpool going on a pretty torrid home run when they were very short of centre-backs that season. It's Fulham again playing out from the back, lose it to Gravenberch. Pereira can't make it stick. It's now with McAllister. Looking out wide left, goes backwards instead to Gomez. It's now to Gakpo, who's took a more central position up here. Now with Van Dijk on the halfway line. Sees a ball in behind on the right-hand side for Bradley, who will try and control it, but he can't keep it away from Robinson, who finds Willian, turns away from Gakpo, and goes into the centre of midfield here to Kearney. Pressed by Gravenberch, so finds centre-half Diop. It's now a Leno to Adebayo. Chops past Nunez and goes back here to Leno again. He's got a bit of time to find a pass. He'll spray it out to the left-hand side, where Jimenez will touch it towards Willian. Cut out by Quansah. Drops to McAllister. Plays the ball through towards Nunez. Intercepted by Castagne. And the offside flag's up anyway on Darwin Nunez. So it'll be a free kick for Fulham. Adebayo, ball through towards Jimenez, can't find him again. Cut out by Quansah in the centre circle. It's been the pattern of the last 5 to 10 minutes for Fulham. They've been trying to find Raul Jimenez up front, but he's very isolated, and the passes up to him haven't been that accurate. In all honesty, he's been feeding off scraps for the majority of this game so far. The Mexican striker. It's now with Virgil van Dijk. He's also someone who's yet to score in this competition, like Diaz, before tonight. But they give it away. And Fulham try and find Willian on the left-hand side. They're asking a lot of the Brazilian, but he will keep it in. And he finds left-back Robinson, who's brought down from behind by Gakpo. That'd be a free kick for Fulham, won by Anthony Robinson. Like I say, spent 11 years in the Everton Academy, the left-back, before leaving for Wigan, where he spent a year at Wigan permanently, and then left in August 2020 for £2 million to join Fulham. Adebayo lifts a ball into the Liverpool half, headed away by Gomez, brought down by Pereira, loses out to Gravenberch. It's now with Gomez in the 18-yard box. He's got Kelleher in goal, but instead he goes through the gap to find Quansah. He wants to play the pass forward, but instead he'll go out wide right to Conor Bradley, who made his Northern Ireland debut at the age of 17. Been at Liverpool since September 2019, Conor Bradley, when leaving his home nation of Northern Ireland to join Liverpool and move here to England. Spent last season on loan at Bolton in League One, and were very unfortunate to not be promoted that season. They were beaten in the playoff semi-finals, but they did win the EFL trophy against Plymouth, 4-0 at Wembley. It's Liverpool still have the possession inside their own half this time with Virgil van Dijk, as they are top of the Premier League at the moment. Liverpool, it's McAllister, high ball over the top, can't find Diaz, straight through to Leno. Yeah, 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League, but Manchester City, who are behind them, do have a game in hand, so that gap of 5 could be narrowed down to 2. But it is Arsenal and Manchester City behind them on 43 points, and then Aston Villa are also on 43 points as well. So 3 teams behind them, all chasing them down. Robinson, the left back, down the line for Willian, keeps it away from Quansah. Willian goes backwards here to Diop, towards the corner flag on the far side. Clips the ball forward, down the line, looking for Jimenez. Header won by Van Dijk. Ball drops to Robinson. Poor touch, gives it away. It's now with Gravenberch on the halfway line. 1-2 with McAllister. Back with Ryan Gravenberch. It's now Gomez forward to Elliott. Moves himself away from Polina and drifts himself out to the left-hand side here, and then puts a cross in towards Gakpo. It deflects off Leno onto Gakpo, and over the bar it went. That would have been a slice of luck if that had gone in. But it's good creativity from Elliott, sending himself out wide to have a better angle for a cross. And when he delivered it, he was aiming for Gakpo, who had just timed his run right as he entered the box. And it came off Leno first, and then off the shoulder of Gakpo. And thankfully for Fulham, it went over the crossbar. And it remains 1-0 here, 3-1 on aggregate to Liverpool. Polina fouled there by Gravenberch inside his own half. Free kick for Fulham. But Liverpool have won the League Cup 4 times this century. Of course, in 2022, but before that, they had a 10-year wait as they won it in 2012 to Cardiff. And before that, they won it in 2003 to Manchester United and 2001 to Birmingham. So they've not had a lot of success in this competition under Klopp. Usually they've had their focus elsewhere, going for league titles and even Champions Leagues. Inside the Liverpool half, it's Willian. Trying to find Robinson, deflects off Bradley. Throwing midway side of the Liverpool half for Fulham. On the far side with Robinson to take it. Throws it into the centre of the field for Willian, who will lift the ball out wide right towards Deco Overeed, who tries to control it, but it's taken away from him by Gomez, who clears it himself through towards Diaz, who's been pulled back there by Castagne. And that'll be a free kick for Liverpool in a left-back position. Certainly wasn't letting Diaz get away from him there. Timothy Castagne. As I mentioned in the last commentary between these two, Marco Silva did reach the semi-finals of this competition when he took over at Hull. Didn't really have to get himself there, though. They were all already in the semi-finals once he'd joined. But they were beaten 3-2 on aggregate to Manchester United, who went on to win that League Cup against Southampton in the final. It's Fulham now have the ball again in a left-back position with Diop. Finds Robinson. Kept in and given away. It's now a Gakpo in a right-wing position. Lifts it through. 1-2 now with Elliott. Gakpo on the edge of the box. Scoops it through for Nunez, who volleys towards goal. It hits the post, and this rebound by Diaz hits the back of the net. But the flag goes up for offside. There's no VAR, so the decision will stand. Let's have a look. So Gakpo coming in from that right-hand side. 1-2 with Elliott. And as Gakpo scooped it in behind for Nunez, offside, just. Castagne pushing up just in time as Nunez hit that volley onto the post, and then Diaz also put in the rebound off the post, but it wouldn't count because the away striker of Nunez was offside. As Van Dijk's header away goes out of play for a throw-in inside their own half here for Fulham on that far side. 1-2 with Willian. It's now Robinson through to Jimenez. Tries to backheel it into Robinson. Cut out by Quansah. Clears it to Elliott. Dispossessed by Polina. It's now Willian. Still on this Fulham left. It's Jimenez. Can't quite get around Bradley, but he gives it away to Kearney. Willian. Good turn away from McAllister. And Gravenberch. It's now Jimenez. Byline. Cuts it back. It comes off the head of Van Dijk. But the flag goes up anyway as Jimenez was played in behind. He must have just timed his run off ever so slightly. And it'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Let's have a look. It was a good run from Willian, driving forward, getting away from McAllister and Gravenberch, and he slotted the ball through to Jimenez. He just strayed offside. It will be a free kick for Liverpool. But it's not just the one goal they need now, Fulham. They now need 2. Unfortunately, after conceding that goal to Luis Diaz earlier on in the half. As McAllister gives the ball away, deflects off Willian, headed forward by Polina. Jimenez to Pereira. It goes behind Deco Overeed, and he's tackled by Diaz. Good sliding challenge from the Colombian. Gravenberch moves away from Polina. On the halfway line, the Dutchman looks wide, doesn't play it. Goes forward instead to Elliott, who then goes back to the left centre-back of Van Dijk. the 32-year-old. It's now with Diaz inside his own half. Goes inside to McAllister. Forward to Gravenberch. Needs to release it. Does it too late. Miskicks it. Straight to Diop. It's now with Willian, who can't get away from McAllister, but the ball runs through for Jimenez. Left side of the box. He crosses. It's a poor one. On the penalty spot, Van Dijk can clear with his left foot. Or as far as left back Robinson, who can't get away from Gakpo. And the counter-attack could be on here. Gakpo to his left. Finds his Dutch compatriot of Gravenberch. Outside the area, plays it into the box. Diaz takes it on first time. And again, aiming for that near post. This time it's saved by Leno. But at the other end, that cross from Raul Jimenez just wasn't good enough. He's got to be finding a black and white shirt. Not Virgil van Dijk, who was able to clear it. Fulham play out from the back. Just outside the 18-yard box of Adarabioyo. Finds Leno. Forward to Kearney. Turns away from Elliott. Goes to the left-back position now with Diop. Inside into the midfield to Polina. Cutting Liverpool's press open there. And he tries to go in behind for Decordova-Reid. And it just seems like it's gone through for Kelleher, that ball. It's nowhere near Decordova-Reid. It just seems like they're rushing that middle part for him, and that's the part they were best at, I thought, 2 weeks ago in the first leg. The transition in passing they were playing, going from defence to midfield through to the attack, playing it through Liverpool. That's what they were best at, but they try to cut the middle part in the midfield, and they're just trying to go long, and it's just not working. They need to try and trust themselves and go through the Liverpool midfield, which obviously they're a little bit wary of doing at the moment. But they've won it back here. Misplaced pass from Diaz. Andreas Pereira, forward for Decordova-Reid, overhit. Out of play for a throw-in for Liverpool. They've just not on it like they were 2 weeks ago for them. As there he is, Andy Robertson, back on the bench for Liverpool. He has been out with a shoulder injury since the 21st of October. He's only played the 8 games so far this season. They all came in the Premier League. Did score once, though, before his injury, away at Wolves to make it 2-1. Willian finds Jimenez, who controls it nicely. 30 yards from goal. He's going to let fly. It's saved by the right-hander Kelleher. And the corner won't be conceded as he kept in by Bradley. Goes down the line for Gakpo, who will get the ball ahead of Willian and goes for a first-time pass through for Nunez, who will not get their first. Great slide challenge there from Adarabioyo. And that'll be a throw-in on the far side for Liverpool. But another chance there for Fulham. Bit of a half chance. Jimenez received the ball and was driving forward, and to be fair to him, the shot to the bottom left corner looked like it was going in, so he had to be saved by Kelleher, but that's a really well-timed challenge there by Adarabioyo to knock Nunez off the ball. But it's now with Liverpool, with Gravenberch on the edge of the centre circle in the Fulham half, goes out to the right-hand side now to Elliott, forward to Bradley, not currently being closed down here, tries a 1-2 with Gakpo, it comes off, Bradley crosses, comes off the knee of Robinson, throwing for the away side. Both these sides have got FA Cup action at home at the weekend. Fulham have got Newcastle and Liverpool have got Norwich. So the cup focus remains after this game for both, no matter what the result is. As Elliott's been forced back to the halfway line here. To Kelleher, that's how far out of the goal he is at the moment. Finds Quansah. Back into Kelleher again. He's been closed down here by Jimenez. And he fires it out to the left-hand side here. Kept in by Gomez, but only as far as Decordova-Reid. Castagne. Now Decordova-Reid again, midway side the Liverpool half. Finds Polina. Over to his left to Kearney. Elliott's coming to tackle him. It deflects off a Liverpool player through to Kearney on the byline, who will keep the ball in. And he finds Castagne. It's now back to Decordova-Reid. Goes down over the challenge of Diaz. And that'll be a free kick for Fulham. Conceded by the goal scorer of the first and only goal so far today. Just a bit too aggressive going in from behind there. Luis Diaz, who on his 75th appearance has scored tonight. It's his 18th goal for Liverpool. 7 of them have come this season. 5 came last season, but he missed 31 games last season with that knee injury he picked up. So, bit of a slow season last time out, just due to that knee injury. Picked up away at Arsenal early on in the season. Chance for Fulham here to get this in the box. Free kick on the near side. They have got a good delivery on Pereira, who just crossed the ball. Header away by Liverpool to the left-hand side, where Gravenberch shields it away from Jimenez and can't quite keep it in, and it'll be a throw-in for Fulham. They take it quickly. Castagne touches it into Jimenez, who goes over the challenger, Diaz. Hooper says no. But they still play here. Fulham on the right-hand side with Willian. Sprinting away from McAllister and Harvey Elliott. Willian from afar, straight at Kelleher. Easy save for the 25-year-old goalkeeper. But Willian took the throw-in quickly there. And Jimenez got the ball from Castagne. And I don't know what Jimenez is falling over for. Falls over nothing. Tries to win the penalty. Which, in fairness, you're more unlikely to win those penalties. Because there's no VAR tonight. But even Hooper, the referee, could see that was a blatant dive. And I really think he should have got booked for that, really. That was a very blatant dive. That's the only thing you wanted to do there. Here's Quansah, clears long here for Liverpool. Into the Fulham half, goes beyond Nunez, and it will be retrieved here for Fulham by Adebayo, formerly of Manchester City. 10th League Cup appearance for Adebayo tonight. 3 of them did come from Manchester City before he moved on. Castagne right back, down the line, looking for Pereira. Gets there ahead of Van Dijk, who touches it into Deco-Reed, who can keep it away from Diaz, but loses out to Gravenberch. But it's seen as a foul there by the referee, so free kick for Fulham once again. Van Dijk had won the ball off Pereira, but the loose touch fell to Deco-Reed, who was then caught late there by Gravenberch. Diop. It's now Kearney on the halfway line. He's got Elliott chasing him behind. He's just about able to get it back to Adebayo, who fires it forward to Deco-Reed. He's took a central position here. Gets out to the left-hand side to Robinson. Now Willian in the final third. Through to Robinson again in the box. He crosses it towards Deco-Reed. Cut out by Virgil van Dijk. Kept in by Gakpo right on the corner flag. He slams the ball away towards Nunez. Dealt with by Diop. And it's now with Kearney. Now finds João Palhinha. Forward to Robinson. Back into Palhinha on halfway. Into the Fulham half now with Diop. Now toasting Adebayo. Skips away from Nunez. Down the line here to Pereira. Van Dijk's closest to him. Plays it into the space towards Castagne. Gomez will get there first. And can see it out of play for a goal kick. Really good defending by Joe Gomez. Who has played once against Fulham. Back in the Championship. When he was at Charlton. The club he was at before his move to Liverpool. That was in the 2014-2015 season. So goal kick for Liverpool. Kelleher will take it long, deep into the Fulham half, which is going to be a free header for Diop. Looking for Kearney. Header away by McAllister. Touch to Elliott by Gravenberch. And then relaying it into the Dutchman. Gravenberch again. Firing it to the right-hand side to Conor Bradley. Into the final third. Tries to play a ball into the box towards Gakpo, who had started to make the run, then stopped the run, but Bradley had already played the ball, so it was too late. And the ball rolls out of play for a goal kick. But Liverpool, if they get a second tonight, that is definitely semi-final over. Fulham need a goal. Obviously, as soon as possible would be best, but they don't want to let the game get away from them. Robinson, strong challenge on Bradley. It's now Palhinha to Kearney. Out to the left towards Willian. It's just gone behind the former Chelsea winger. And it just seems tonight that it's just not clicking for Fulham. It's like every pass that they need to come off, it's either going behind someone or it's too far ahead of them. I've just seen them move the ball quicker and smoother before. And there's Fulham dispossessed on halfway by Gomez. Really good challenge on Deco-Reed, leaving him on the floor. We've got 6 minutes left of the first half. Just one loss in the last 12 for Liverpool against Fulham. They will have a good record against this side in London. Kelleher on the edge of the 18-yard box. Long ball down the Liverpool left towards Diaz. He will get there at a Castagne. In the final third, towards the corner flag. He keeps the ball in and goes backwards here to Gomez. 25 yards from goal. He's going to let fly. It comes off the header of Adebayo. And that would be a corner kick at the near post. At the near side, sorry. For Liverpool, it was quite surprising to see Gomez let fly from that far. It's coming a bit of a theme and a bit of a running joke that Joe Gomez still hasn't scored for Liverpool since joining in 2015. It's his 202nd appearance, and he's still waiting for that first goal for Liverpool. So it'll be an outswinger from the left boot of Harvey Elliott. This would be a real sucker punch if Liverpool score here. It's a low one, but it's going to be retaken as Simon Hooper wasn't happy with something going on in the box. So Harvey Elliott will get a second go at it. Cross goes in. Bit of a higher one this time. Header away by Adebayo. As far as McAllister, who feeds it back to Elliott, who will have a second bite at the cherry. Cross goes in. Header away by Adebayo again. As far as Gakpo on the edge of the area. Closed down by Kearney. Tries to turn away from the Scotsman. And he does get the touch through to Van Dijk in the area. Who's 1-on-1 with Polina at the moment. Can't get beyond the midfielder. And he clears it down the line for Willian, who will keep the ball in. And plays it to Kearney. Looks back through towards Willian. And on the follow-through, Kearney takes out McAllister. And it'll be a free kick and a foul and a yellow card. Seems harsh here. Simon Hooper explaining to the Fulham players why he's given that. I'm just waiting for a replay to have a look at that. Fulham were trying to break. Kearney got there ahead of McAllister, then went through the Argentine. Kicked the ball away, then the follow-through. He slipped Kearney into McAllister. It's accidental. I can't believe he's given that as a yellow card. In all honesty, I don't know if that's just me. But the Fulham captain's booked. Like I said, the touch was heavy, and he had to really go for it to get the ball ahead of McAllister, and he's kicked the ball forward, but then he slipped and kind of gone through McAllister. It's a nasty one. It's left McAllister on the floor. He's getting some treatment. I'm not saying it's not hurt McAllister, but it wasn't Kearney's intent. He's just unfortunate that he slipped. He can't do much about that. But here's the Diaz goal on the 11th minute. Great ball switched out to the left wing by Van Dijk, and it's such a good touch by the Diaz. He chests it down and takes Castagne out of the game. And as I say, he shot towards goal. The deflection deceived Leno ever so slightly, and he could only push it onto the post, which then led to the ball hitting the back of the net. And that's why it's 1-0. Just before half-time. McAllister's going to have to go off at the far side there, as he's obviously received treatment, so he'll have to be waved back on by the referee before he can re-enter the field of play. So, under 2 minutes left to play here of the first half, then we might get some added on time. It's just about 5 yards inside the Fulham half here. It'll be Quanta to take it. He'll switch it out to the left-hand side. It's a high ball. It's nodded down by Diaz towards Nunez, who is being tracked here by Decordova-Reid. He moves it backwards here to Gomez, and then inside there to Van Dijk. And then he switches it to Bradley. McAllister still waiting to come back on as Robinson heads out of play for a throw-in for Liverpool. Not allowing the ball to get to Conor Bradley. As McAllister's been allowed back on. And Bradley to take the throw-in. Gets the return ball from McAllister. Then a 1-2 with Gakpo. Conor Bradley crosses it low towards Nunez. Needed to be intercepted by Adebayo. Now Robinson at left back. Can't clear it because his touch has gone away from him. There'll be another throw-in the final third, this time for Liverpool on that far side. Bradley gets the return from Elliott. Gakpo's posed ball through is overhit, and it'll go for a goal kick for Fulham. Frustrating for Fulham. They've just not been at it tonight. They've not been able to play their free-flowing football that we're used to seeing, especially at home. 5 wins in the last 6 at Craven Cottage in all competitions. Jimenez taking up a left wing position, darting down the line. Touch is too heavy. Dealt with momentarily by Quanta, but then he gives it back to the Mexican, who can work across before it goes out of play. Put into the sky by Gomez. Controlled by Willian. Kicks it outside the area, looking for Kearney. Robinson will help him out and play it through towards Jimenez. Goes beyond the Mexican, and it'll roll out here for a throw-in for Liverpool, right next to the corner flag. There's 5 minutes. Wow, 5? Where have they got 5 from? I've had the McAllister getting some treatment. We had a bit of a delay after the goal with a flare, but I don't think that's 5. That seems a bit excessive. It's from the throw-in. Quanta clears. Chested down by Kearney. Lifted through by Polina. Dealt with by Quanta. And then helped away by Van Dijk. Back heel by Diaz looking for Nunez. It's now with Diop. Back heel by Polina out wide right to Castagna. That's a great ball by Polina. And Castagna goes over the challenger, McAllister. And that'll be a free kick on the right-hand side here for Fulham. Again, too far away for a shot, but a nice little angle here for a cross. Definitely a foul. Castagna just chopped beyond McAllister because he saw him sliding in. And McAllister got none of the ball and just about caught the Belgian fullback. So 4 minutes left to play have added on time. It'll be a free kick for Fulham. Andres Pereira again to take. Liverpool's line is on the 18-yard line. As Pereira will cross it, headed backwards by Quanta, and he'll concede the corner. So a corner kick on this near side. Well dealt with there by Quanta. 6'3" he is. Gigantic centre-back. 1 inch smaller than Van Dijk at 6'4". As again, Pereira will have another opportunity to cross the ball into the box. Can this one be the best of the lot? It's a deeper one. It's a swing ball in. Comes off the back, I think, of Nunez to Gakpo. Tackled by Kearney. Hooked away by Bradley. Comes off Elliott towards Diaz on the left wing. Loses out to Pereira. Cleared forward by Robinson. Header away by Van Dijk. I think that's an aimed header away. That's a good one to Nunez on the halfway line. On this near side, he tries to switch ball out to Elliott. That's a fantastic ball. What a touch that is. Elliott brings it down onto his left foot. Curls it into the box. Gravenberch gets there, but he can't quite divert it towards goal. It can be cleared away by Robinson. Slices it out of play for a throw-in. That switch from Nunez was unbelievable, and the control from Elliott was fantastic. Got it onto that left foot. Curled it into the area, far post. And Gravenberch was able to get a touch of the ball, but he couldn't quite, like I say, couldn't quite touch it towards goal. It went wide of the goal in the end, and it was cleared eventually by Robinson with that slice clearance out of play. And as the replays cut back to the action, Fulham have regained the ball. Again, not sure how. If they were showing replays of the cross. But it's Diop on the edge of the box. Back to Leno. 2 minutes of added on time to play. He'll go long here, the German goalkeeper. Looking for Deco over Reed. Loses out to Van Dijk. Goes through towards Gakpo. Won back by Castagna. And it goes across to the edge of the box here to the Frenchman, Issa Diop, who has scored once previously against Liverpool in an away defeat. 3-2 it was in the 2019-2020 season. Never beaten Liverpool as well, Issa Diop, at his time at Fulham and Liverpool. Fulham and West Ham, sorry. Still with Leno in the 18-yard box. Again, he'll go long, this time out to the left-hand side. Looking for Jimenez, who controls it ahead of Bradley. Plays it to Willian. Inside to Kearney. Back out to Willian. Midway side, the Liverpool half. Finds Polina. It's now back into their own half here with Diop. Loads of time on the ball. Plays it to his right to Adebayo. It's now Polina in the centre circle. Back to Diop. Robinson forward for Kearney, who's just drifted out wide ever so slightly. Replays it into Robinson, into the final third. It's now Willian to the edge of the box to Kearney. It goes behind him and it'll go through for Gravenberch, who will play it down the left flank for Nunez. who will get there ahead of Adebayo, but can't get beyond the big centre-half as it comes off Nunez last. It'll be a throw for Fulham to take with 30 seconds to play. Pereira, just inside his own half, driving forward. Knocked off the ball there by Gakpo, as the referee didn't play the advantage. And that'll be a free kick for Fulham. As Andres Pereira is going to have a talking to here by the referee, Simon Hooper. So Andres Pereira was getting a little bit of a telling off there by the referee, Simon Hooper, for not playing the advantage. So it's a free kick for Fulham on the halfway line. They're going to send this one as far into the Liverpool half as possible, as this will probably be the last action of play for the first half here at Craven Cottage. So it'll be the Brazilian to take it. Into the box it goes, and oh god, that is so bad. So bad. Straight into the hands of Kelleher, and that is where the referee will blow for half-time as Jurgen Klopp here is jogging across the field to get down that tunnel on the opposite end of the stadium. As his side lead at the moment, it is Fulham 0, Liverpool 1, 3-1 on aggregate at the moment. Liverpool lead through Luis Diaz in the 11th minute. A switched ball out to the left-hand side by Van Dijk was chested down beautifully by the Colombian. He found himself in the area, shot with his right foot towards the near post where it took a slight deflection, parried onto the post by Leno, into the back of the net, which gives Liverpool a 2-goal cushion in this semi-final. But from then until the end of the second half, Fulham had had a lot of the ball, but not really been able to work Kelleher that much, in all honesty. They've had a few crosses which have caused a little bit of danger from the likes of Robinson getting forward from left back. They did have a great chance before the Liverpool goal. Pellegrini in the 7th minute from a corner, volleying over the bar as he was left all alone in the box. But as I mentioned throughout the first half, Fulham have just not been able to play their flowing football that they usually do. They're just off the pace ever so slightly. They're misplacing a pass. They're either hitting it too hard or they're playing it behind the player. And because that's not working, they then try to go long, which is also having no success. And it's just been a bit of a messy Fulham performance in that first half, which means at Craven Cottage, after the first 50 minutes, which has been the amount played in that first half, it is Fulham 0, Liverpool 1, and it's 3-1 on aggregate. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else is watching the game, and if you are, then you can agree or disagree, but just something with Fulham tonight, it just isn't clicking at all, and it's been pretty easy, I think, for Liverpool. The amount of times that Fulham have got the ball and then they've just given it back to Liverpool really quickly has been pretty poor. You know, in the first leg, Fulham, what they did so well was their link-up play, taking it from the defence, getting it into the midfield. Then the likes of Pellegrini and Reed and Pereira were able to link up really smoothly with their wingers, bringing in, you know, Decord over Reed to play on the right, Willian on the left. Also, Jimenez was coming in deeper to link up the play as well. It was just a lot more smoother, but tonight it's just been the opposite. It's been really messy, and they've just not been the Fulham that we know, you know, the Fulham that we know they can be. And yeah, it's a first half performance which can't be something they take into the second half. They've got to up the ideas. They've got to really improve Fulham, or they won't get to the final. I think it's asking a lot of them now to get 2 goals, because Liverpool really settled and calm defending. In all honesty, they've not really been troubled much by Fulham. I think Jarrell Quansah at the back, 20 years old, he's been superb. He's just looked really composed. And yeah, I think it'll be a half-time team talk for Marco Silva, and it'll have to be one of his best ones, because they need to somehow get this Fulham team playing, because you can also see as well on the pitch that that Fulham players are frustrated. You can see it. The body language isn't great. Every time a ball's going out of play, where they're giving away a throw-in, or they're just giving the ball back to Kelleher after trying to go long, you can tell that Fulham are growing frustrated. And then, you know, if the players are showing frustration, then the crowd will also kind of adopt that similar body language and behaviour, and they'll become more frustrated. Then it's just a negative atmosphere, and, you know, you're never going to get anywhere with a negative atmosphere, especially when you need to score 2 goals against one of the best teams in the world at the moment. So everything needs to change for Fulham in the second half. That's basically what I'm saying, because that first half just was not good enough. But they are at home, and they're going good at home at the moment. 5 wins in their last 6 at home. Competitions 4 in the last 5 in the Premier League. And it's going to be a huge ask for them, and they definitely need to step up their game if they want any chance of overturning this current deficit that they are facing of being 2 down at the moment. Going 3-1 down really knocked them. I think, obviously conceding the goal quite early, making it 3-1 in aggregate will knock them, but for me, I don't know how, I'm not a Fulham player, I'm not in their minds, but this is the way I'd think. You're going to be, it's going to suck the atmosphere out, and, you're playing against Liverpool. But for me, that goal gets conceded. It might weigh on your mind for 5 minutes because it is frustrating, but after that, you've got to get back on it, and you've got to just take out the frustration and just leave it, and you've got to concentrate on what your job is. And I don't think Fulham did that. I don't think they were able to leave it to the side and just focus on the game at all. It just seemed that goal just seemed to linger throughout the whole of the first half, and they couldn't shake it off, which is what has led them to have a pretty poor first half for me. In games like this where you are the underdogs, conceding early when you're already down on aggregate doesn't help, and I understand that. And but that goal from Diaz, I think just before the break I said it was Van Dijk who played the ball to him, but it was actually Quansah with the switch from the halfway line out to that left wing position. So Diaz has hit the ball, it's deflected by Palhinha back onto Diaz's foot and then into the back of the net. So a bit of a weird strike there, actually. Yeah, Diaz hit it, came off Palhinha, back off Diaz, and then it's been able to arrow its way through into the back of the net off the post after Leno got a slight touch to it. But yeah, Quansah with a beautiful assist there. Obviously, Diaz had a lot of work to do to bring the ball down with his chest and drive into the area and get the shot off, but definitely can't take anything away from that ball. That was a superb pass, finding Diaz against Castagne. But yeah, like I said, that Palhinha chance, 7 minutes in. Cross came in from Pereira, and I think it was Gomez who was with Palhinha. I'm actually not sure. I think there was a bit of confusion. I think Elliott was meant to stay with Adarabioyo, which is a mismatch on its own. And then I think Gomez was meant to stay with Palhinha, but Gomez has instead gone with Adarabioyo, which has left Palhinha on his own in the box, and that went over the bar. That was at 0-0, 8 minutes in. And 3 minutes later, Liverpool went on and scored, which, because Fulham had a little bit of a flurry a couple of minutes before the Liverpool goal, which was starting to build them a little bit of momentum, and then that was completely shot off when Liverpool got their goal. The second half will be coming up ever so shortly. Luis Diaz with the goal, his first League Cup goal in his career. If it is a Liverpool-Chelsea final, who do you think will be Liverpool all day? I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if Liverpool don't win that final. The state that Chelsea are in at the moment, I know they had a great game last time out, but it was Middlesbrough. But I think against Liverpool, I don't. In fairness, they did draw, didn't they, at the start of the season at Stamford Bridge. So that'll be something that Chelsea look at and will take inspiration from. That they can say that they have, gone toe to toe with Liverpool this season. But that was at the start of the season. It was their first game, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. So I think because it's a final, I think all finals are pretty close for the majority of them. So I don't think it would be like a game where Liverpool would run away with it, or who knows, they might do. But from what I'm seeing it, for me it'd be like a 2-1 Liverpool, maybe a 3-1 if they were to get like another goal in the second half. But I'd say maybe a 2-1 game, a 3-1 game for Liverpool. I think they would win. I just think they're unstoppable at the moment. If Liverpool are to win a League Cup, it would take them into double figures for League Cups. It would be their 10th League Cup in their history. It would be their 67th trophy as well, just adding to their unbelievable success that Liverpool have had in their history since being founded in 1892. But it's obviously a cup final where they'd be favourites. So, and to be fair, I think Liverpool would prefer that. I think Liverpool like being the favourites, in all honesty. You know, they've had so many years of being the underdog, chasing City. I think when they do have the opportunity in games to be the favourites, I think they kind of take it on and they like that extra added pressure of being the favourites because they're so used to usually being the underdogs and chasing down Manchester City. Second half we'll be getting underway in I think about 5 minutes time because we'd have 5 minutes added on at the end of that half. Not know where they got 5 minutes from, but that's how much was added on. And Fulham will need the 2 goals in the second half to take this game, get this game level. And if this does end all level, we will have extra time in the semi-finals. So yeah, it won't go straight to penalties. We'll have extra time first, and then we'll have spot kicks. But in all honesty, at this moment in time, I doubt we'll get to that stage. It'll have to be a real turnaround in performance from Fulham and Liverpool. Fulham will have to take their performance up that way, and Liverpool would have to take theirs down the other. But they'll believe Fulham. You know, they're at home, which helps. I think if they were away from home, I think that would change the mentality slightly because their backs would really be up against it. And as well for Fulham, they've not really got much on their bench in terms of anything better than what they've got all level on the field. I mean, possibly bringing on Harry Wilson, formerly of Liverpool, for 16 years, coming through the youth system. He's featured in every game so far this season for Fulham, if that's starting or off the bench. But bar that, they haven't got really one on the bench who you would look at as a real difference maker, in all honesty, compared to what they've got already on the field of play. The League Cup, when is the League Cup final? Actually, I'm not actually sure. I feel like I should know. I know it's in February. Watch it be in March, I've said that. Yeah, February, nearly in March, in fairness. 25th of February, so I'll bring live commentary for that one. I don't see why that should be a problem unless I'm busy in a month's time. I doubt it, though. Yeah, I always miss out on commentating on cup finals. I want to commentate on more cup finals, even if they're televised, whatever. I want to commentate on more cup finals, and that'll be one of them. But don't be going anywhere because the second half is about to get underway in a couple of minutes' time. Can Fulham turn this around? They'd have to win, as we know, because they were, 1 goal down from the first leg, and they haven't won in their last 5 against Liverpool at home. Their last win came in December 2011, and we've had 2 draws in the last 6 games between these two, and they've both come at Craven Cottage. There was a draw in the last game between these two at this ground, 2-2 draw back in August 2022. 2 goals from Mitrovic that day, giving Fulham the lead twice, but they were pegged back twice through goals from Nunez and Salah, who obviously you might have seen has been injured at the African Cup of Nations, and it's actually worse than they first thought, and it looks like Salah's going to be out for around a month, so his return date might be the League Cup final if Liverpool are to get there. which would be a fantastic present for the Liverpool fans if they were to see Salah return for the final. So here come the sets of players coming back out. Don't see any substitutions made from either team. But they've got to raise the energy levels. For me, even though it might be a risk and they might leave themselves open a little bit, I think Fulham have got to really go for it at the start of the second half, just to get the crowd on side, get the crowd going, get an early corner, get an early shot on at goal, and just put this Liverpool team under a bit of pressure. You know, build some momentum, get the fans on side, and then you can go from there. But at the moment, it just seems a bit flat. I mean, I don't know for sure because I'm not at the stadium, obviously. Fulham don't have these beautiful curtains at their ground, I don't think. But yeah, just the body language, the Fulham players, I didn't really like, and that's got to change. They've got to just get their heads down and, you know, try and get Fulham to a first major final in England since 1975. Their first major final since 2010 in the Europa League. So it'll be Fulham kicking right to left, Liverpool left to right towards their away supporters. Fulham kicking us off. Andres Pereira playing it back to Bernd Leno, who goes out to the Fulham left here. Right, it goes all the way through beyond Willian for a Liverpool throw-in, be taken by their right back Connor Bradley. Deckled over Reed, gives the ball away to Gravenberch. Chance here, Nunez leaves it for Diaz, who's onside, in the box, all alone, onto his right foot, squares it behind Gakpo. Chance still alive in the 18-yard area. Gakpo onto his left foot, lays it off for Elliott on the edge of the area, who will slice it all the way through for a goal kick. And that is a huge opportunity for Liverpool right after the break. They could have made it 2-0 on the night. Nunez was well offside and he left it for Diaz, who was bearing down on goal, and he got it onto his right foot, and you just thought he was going to shoot again, but he's tried to square it, but it's gone behind Gakpo. And the attack eventually fizzled away. So it's a Fulham throw-in with their left-back Robinson. He represents America, despite being born in Milton Keynes, but his dad was raised in New York, hence why he has chosen to represent the United States. On this near side, last touch comes off. Not quite sure, because they're showing a clip of Diogo Jota walking back to the bench. I don't know whose ball that was. Still don't. I think it's Liverpool's as Bradley throws it up towards Nunez, who finds Elliott in a right wing position. Touch last comes off Kearney. So another throw in here for Liverpool, just inside the Fulham half. Be taken by Connor Bradley, the right back, who's waiting for a little bit of movement here. Throws it into the midfield for Gravenberch. Forward to Elliott. Brings it down with the touch, but then headed away by Kearney. Once more by Willian. Off the back of Pereira. Jimenez can't break for him. Given away to Gomez in the end. Now with Diaz just inside the Fulham half. Not got many options. He's forced to go backwards here to Van Dijk. And across to Quansah. And then back over to Van Dijk. Once again. But they are on a run of 3 away wins in a row at the moment. Liverpool, Bournemouth, Arsenal and Burnley. They want to make it 4 tonight. They don't need to make it 4 tonight. A draw will do for Liverpool, but I'm sure they'll want to win for the momentum that it will bring them. It'll be their 24th win of the season at 33 games. It's Gravenberch just overruns it on the edge of the area. Tackled by Palhinha, who can get away from Gomez and Nunez and switch out to the left. Good play there from Palhinha. And the ball out to the left again. It was behind Jimenez and through for a throw-in. I don't know what Fulham need to do. I don't know what they need to do to work this out, because it's just not working, and they're all getting frustrated at themselves and at each other. And again, that's what I mean about the mood of that wears off to the supporters. It does, 100%. I've been there myself during a game where you can see the players are frustrated, and that makes you more frustrated because it looks like they're not wanting to really work it out. as it's Nunez in a left wing position in the final third. Slows the game down, 1-on-1 with Adebayo, edge of the area. Got Gomez behind him. He goes on the outside of Adebayo instead. Still with Nunez. Eventually goes to Gomez, edge of the area. He's going to strike it, and that evasive first Liverpool goal still awaits Joe Gomez as he fires it over the crossbar. Will he ever score, Joe Gomez? That's the big question. Previous 201 games he's played for Liverpool, he still hasn't scored. Leno out to the left back of Robinson into the area now for Diop. Being closed down by Gakpo. He'll send it forward. It's a high ball towards Jimenez. Headed won by Van Dijk, but he goes backwards and then volleyed away by Quansah. Headed away by Castagne to the left back Robinson, who nods it forward for Jimenez. Again loses out to Van Dijk. Poor touch from Gakpo. Gives it for Diop. Robinson forward for Kearney. Then through for Willian. Here we go. Chance here for the home side. Willian driving onto his right foot, playing it through for Cordova-Reid in the area. Can he work space for a shot? He can, but it's blocked by Gomez and then played behind by Diaz. And there's the corner to try and get the home support up for this game. Really good run from Willian and playing it through for Cordova-Reid, who got a bit of space for a shot but cannoned off Gomez and then dealt with by Diaz to concede the corner. It's on that far side, so will they go for an outswinger or an in-swinger? It's going to be a right-footed outswinger from Pereira. Into the box it goes towards Diop. It goes beyond him and flicked away by Van Dijk. All as far as Willian on the edge of the area. On his right foot, he'll shoot from afar, blocked by the feet of Gomez. And then out to the left-hand side for Liverpool for Diaz, who helps it on towards Nunez. He's going to chase it, but he won't get there ahead of Robinson, who will turn away from the Uruguayan. Really good defending by Robinson on the edge of his own box. And he finds Castagne. Back to Leno, who will clear it first time ahead of Elliott. Up towards Cordova-Reid, loses the header to Quansah. Out to the left wing here to Diaz, midway side the Fulham half. He's running at Castagne into the final third, into the box. Diaz on the outside of the Belgian, tries to square it through towards Gakpo, who lifts it over the crossbar. Slight little chance there for Cody Gakpo, who has scored in every League Cup game so far this season. 6 yards out, got his right foot to the ball ahead of Diop, but couldn't work it on target. Robinson forward for Willian. What a flick that is inside to Kearney. Burst into the Liverpool half. He's got Jimenez wide to his left. He'll find the Mexican, who will then cross it to the far post. Headed away by Gomez. Retrieved by Cordova-Reid on the edge of the area. Brings in the right back Castagne as Liverpool got players back now, but Fulham are able to get more forward. It's now on the halfway line here with Diop. Through to Robinson. It's now Willian to Kearney. Nice bit of feet here to work himself away from Gakpo and find the pass to Willian. And then as Kearney played the ball to Willian, he was caught by Gakpo, and that'll be a free kick for Fulham. On this near side, great chance to get the ball in the box. Just subbed, thank you very much. What games are you doing midweek and weekend? So these are the two midweek ones that we've done so far, the two League Cup semi-finals, then the two at the weekend, which are already on the channel scheduled, so you can go on them, and then I think you can press a notification bell button, and it basically reminds you when I go live. And we're doing two FA Cup games, fourth round this weekend. Saturday 12:30, Ipswich Maidstone, and on Sunday 4:30 is Newport against Manchester United. As from the free kick, Fulham goes short with Willian, who will curl across in. That's a dangerous one towards the header of Adebayo. Pereira on the angle, smashes the post. And it goes right through for Nunez, and the counter-attack's on. He's got Diaz to his right. Robinson tries to show him down the line. He gets onto his right foot, plays it through for Elliott this time, in the area. Right-footed shot saved by the feet of Leno. He goes back to Elliott, and that would have really been a dagger in the hearts of the Fulham fans if they've gone from hitting the post to conceding. McAllister from the edge of the box drags the shot wide, and it's a goal kick. What an opportunity. A great ball whipped in there by Willian. It was a bit of a looper. Kelleher came for it. Adebayo got there ahead of him. It came off the head of Adebayo. Just went wide of the goal, but it was a chance for Pereira to shoot. It was a tight angle, in fairness. It wasn't it was an open net, say, but the angle was tight, and he's rattled the post, and it went right through off the post of Nunez, who started that counter-attack off. Nearly got his third assist in this cup tie, finding Elliott, but he couldn't quite hit it properly with his weaker right foot. Didn't quite catch it in the end. And it remains 1-0 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. Starting to just heat up a little bit since the start of this second half, with Fulham looking a little bit more dangerous than they were in the first. And it's a Fulham throwing on this far side. Nunez can't keep it in the Fulham half. So yeah, two commentaries at the weekend. Ipswich Maidstone. Maidstone in the 6th tier of English football. National League South take on Championship Ipswich away from home. And then Newport against Manchester United on the Sunday. As the ball drops here in the midfield to Elliott. Out to the left to Gravenberch on the halfway line. It's now with Gomez, the left back. Backwards once more to Kelleher. Decent bit of pressing here from Fulham. Forcing Liverpool back deep into their own half. It'll be brought forward by Quansah. Switch out to the left is short towards Nunez. Picked up by Castagna. Pellegrini forward to Kearney. Takes it on the turn nicely. Then Jimenez swings out to the right towards Pereira. Gomez will get there first and sees the ball out for a goal kick. Good defending by Liverpool's number 2. And that'll be a goal kick for the away side. Again, mentioned it loads of times, and I really don't want to sound like a broken record and bore everyone here, but it's just not quite clicking tonight for Fulham at the moment. One pass comes off and then the next one goes astray, and it breaks it all down, the momentum that they're trying to build. Because every time the ball goes out of play, it's just a bit of a drop the shoulders moment. You know, your head goes down thinking, oh, I've got to go again, try to win the ball back off this Liverpool side. As it is with right back Bradley, midway side his own half on this near side. He goes into the right centre back of Quansah. It's now with the goalkeeper Kelleher. Now Van Dijk striding forward with the ball to the halfway line and playing it out to the left here to Diaz, the only scorer of the game so far. The front three have all been involved in goals in this cup tie. Nunez with the 2 assists for the 2 goals in the first leg, including the goal from Gakpo. Poor ball there for Liverpool, looking for Elliott. Goes beyond him, and it's a throw-in for Fulham in their own half. It's work to Adebayo here. He will drive forward. He gets ahead of Elliott. Plays a pass to Jimenez, who's tackled from behind there by Van Dijk. They win it back, though, off Diaz. It's now with Diop to Robinson. Lifts the ball down the left channel. Kearney will chase it. Bradley will get there first. Can he see the ball out for a goal kick or for a throw-in instead? Right on this corner flag. So, chance for Fulham to push up the pitch here and try and win the ball back in a dangerous position. When will we see changes, if any, from Klopp? Yeah, I feel like it's with a cup game like this, it's difficult to introduce players on because they have to get into the pace of the game very quickly. They need to settle down quick. You don't want to be letting them make any mistakes. So it'll be interesting to see when the first changes are made. Castagne's crossing the box, deflected off Gravenberch, not dealt with though. Oh, he is dealt with eventually. And then Diaz gets beyond Pellegrini really well. Crosses the halfway line. Diaz plays it to his left here to Nunez, who enters the box. Takes it on with the right foot, and it's palmed away by Leno, who's aiming towards that far corner there, Darwin Nunez. But pretty comfortable save in the end there for Leno. Really good bit of skill there by Diaz, who went over the challenger Pellegrini, but got back to his feet straight away as he saw that the break was on. Found Nunez, who again likes to peel out to his left-hand side to get those shots away with his right foot. And yeah, as he just entered the box, he opened up the body, curled it to the far corner. Good save from Leno, in fairness. He had to stretch for it. It'll be an outswinger on this near side for Alexis McAllister to take. In it goes to the near post. Free header won there for Robinson. Only as far as Bradley on the edge of the box for Liverpool. Refinds McAllister. He wants to try and get the cross back in again as he takes on Robinson. He can't do so though. Can't take on the full back. But then he wins it back off him. Great tackle from McAllister in the area. Tries to pull it across, but he takes too long to do it. Blocked by Pellegrini, but they win it back through Gravenberch. Poor clearance from Willian. Gravenberch with a dangerous cross in, headed away by Adebayo. Drops as far as Bradley in the final third. It's now with Gakpo across to Diaz, edge of the box, plays it back through for Gakpo on the angle. He lifts it into the far post towards Quansah, who tries to nod it down towards Diaz. Just goes behind the Colombian, but he can regain the ball off Pereira. Nunez again on this left-hand side. Diaz out to Elliott, who's kicked it off Deco Dover-Reed. It'll be a throw-in for the away side. Not quite having the opportunity open up there for Liverpool. They were getting close. They were in the area a couple of times, but that space for a shot just never arrived. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We are edging very close to be able to apply to become a YouTube partner, which would be quite exciting. We're very close to hitting that with the watched hours. So if you could watch all the stream, that would help me out more than you believe. So thank you to everyone who's already here and who's already liked and subscribed and who's been here for a while. It is very much appreciated. It is Liverpool in possession, halfway line. Harvey Elliott, they're being forced back here by the Fulham press. The goalkeeper Kelleher in the 18-yard box quickly shifts it to Van Dijk at left centre-back, who allows Deco Dover-Reed to get close to him, but he takes it around the Jamaican and lifts the ball down the Liverpool left, where it'll be hooked away by Adebayo for a throw for Liverpool just inside their own half. But still no changes made as we're an hour in here as Diaz lifts it over Kearney, taken down by the Scotsman. Free kick on halfway for Liverpool. That's the thing with the likes of Diaz and Gakpo and Nunez. Once they get beyond you, you don't really want them to keep going. You kind of want to just stop them. So it happens a lot where they take them on and then they're just pulled back from behind because they know the danger it can leave when you've got Diaz and Gakpo and Nunez running at your back four. It can be quite scary at times. It's with Gravenberch, sees a switch out to the opposite flank on the right-hand side. It's a brilliant ball, brought down by Elliott, onto his left foot. Thought about crossing it the first time, instead goes back here with the pass to Bradley, then through to Gakpo. Gets there ahead of Robinson. Gakpo still has it. Across the box here to Diaz. Lays it back into Gakpo. Gravenberch tries a 1-2 of his own there, but it's dispossessed and it's Pereira to try and play it forward. Kearney loses out to Bradley. Liverpool forward now with Elliott. Across to Diaz, edge of the area. On his right foot. Just can't quite work the space for a shot, but he keeps the ball moving to Gomez. Out to the left to Nunez. Still in the final third here. Outside the 18-yard box. Works it across to a central area to McAllister, who's been tackled there by Jimenez. Couple of bodies going over, and eventually it's a free kick for Fulham. Just hesitated on it for too long there, Alexis McAllister. And he's the one who's gone over on the challenge, and then he's the one who's eventually brought down a Fulham player. Yeah, just stopped Kearney going forward there, McAllister. So it's Leno on the ball. Can Fulham get a goal? Make it interesting. Well, they won't be with that passing straight to Gomez. Diaz inside to Elliott. First time pass for Nunez, who stayed onside in the box. It falls through to Elliott, who can't quite take the ball on there. But it's a free kick anyway. I think Nunez just fouled Castagne in the box before he moved it on to Elliott. Thanks to everyone who is here. It's a good, healthy amount of numbers in the stream. Make sure you're just here for the next two commentaries at the weekend. And the commentaries coming up next week. We have got the likes of Spurs against Brentford, West Ham against Bournemouth, Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Rangers, Aberdeen. So they're the next four for next week. See if any of them take your fancy. I hope they do. That's Bradley, just overrun. Oh, he doesn't. Yes, he does overrun it in the right-hand side, but then it deflects through to Nunez in the area, turns on Paulinho and sends it to the far corner. And that is not far away. Bit of a mess at the back there for Fulham. As Conor Bradley was going down the right-hand side, it looked like he'd overhit the touch, but he was just able to meet Diop with it. And as Diop tried to clear it, deflected off Bradley, through for Nunez, and in the box he turned Paulinho really well. Has got that skill, Nunez. He is a good player. And as he was aiming towards the top left corner, it was just curling wide of that top corner. It would have been a brilliant goal, but thankfully for Fulham, it didn't hit the back of the net. It went wide. But it is Liverpool back in possession in the centre circle with Jarrell Quansah. It's now with Kelleher, midway side. His own half. Gomez. almost in the midfield position, driving forward, tackle from behind by Polina. He wins the ball, that's a great tackle. Pereira can't quite keep it on the field, he kicks it off. Gravenberch throwing for Fulham. Inside their own half, they're throwing it into the 18-yard box here to Adebayo, who goes across here to Leno in goal. On once more now for Diop. It's now Robinson in the defensive third at left-back. Not got loads of options, forces it down the line, cut out by Bradley. Forcing it there, Fulham. Bradley allows the challenge from Polina, but the deflection goes through to McAllister. And Liverpool can keep the possession in the Fulham half. It's now back here with Quansah again at centre-half. Van Dijk. Diaz. Goes back here to Kelleher on the edge of the 18-yard box here. McAllister to the right centre-half of Quansah. And they have got some difficult fixtures coming up. Liverpool, as a ball's played through here to Gakpo, and the offside flag goes up there. Yeah, they've got some difficult fixtures coming up. Obviously Norwich in the FA Cup, which is an easier one. But in the Premier League, they've then got Chelsea on the 31st of January at home, which could be the League Cup final on the 25th of February. And then they've got Arsenal again away in the league. Obviously, they went to them in the FA Cup and beat them 2-0. Very impressive win in the end for Liverpool. But still dangerous fixtures nonetheless. As it looks like we are going to get two changes here for Liverpool. It looks like when the ball next goes out, we might have Curtis Jones and Diogo Jota on the field. And it's now with Fulham inside their own half here with Willian. Tried to take on Bradley, was then brought down by the fullback. And that'll be a free kick for Fulham to take with Issa Diop stood over it. And he goes across to his centre-back partner of tossing Adebayo. Ball through in between the lines for Andres Pereira. That's a great pass. Pereira. Oh my days. This is absolutely... this is so easy for Liverpool. Pereira received the ball in the midfield and he's tried to play it through in behind for either Deco, Dovere or Jimenez. So one's making a run wide that way, one's making more of a run inside like that, and he's played the ball right in the middle of that gap, nowhere near any of them, and it's gone right through for a goal kick. That is so bad. Oh man, frustrating, and I'm not even a Fulham. I don't really care who wins. I don't care at all, but it's just frustrating to watch. We are going to get one Fulham change. Deco Dovere, the right winger, will be replaced by former Liverpool player Harry Wilson, who only made 2 appearances for Liverpool in his 16 years at the club. In the League Cup in 2020 was one of them against Arsenal, 4th round, and also in the FA Cup in January 2017. And for Liverpool, we're going to get 2 changes. Darwin Núñez comes off for Diogo Jota. The 2 players who scored all goals against Bournemouth at the weekend, 2 for Jota, 2 for Núñez, and then Alexis McAllister will be replaced now by Curtis Jones. So I wonder who will take up that almost like that holding midfield position. I don't think anyone will. We might see a bit more of a 4-4-2 maybe for Liverpool, going 4 up front, or will it be Curtis Jones to kind of play that deeper role? We'll have to wait and see. We're back underway. Quarter of the game left to play. It's with Curtis Jones, the substitute. Started the comeback in the first leg, making it 1-1. In the 68th minute, his deflected shot going beyond Leno. It's now Kelleher in the 18-yard box, playing it back into Quansah at right centre-back. Taking it away from Pereira, playing it down the line for Bradley. Touch is very nice, keeping it away from Kearney that time. And it's now across to Virgil van Dijk, who did win a League Cup himself at Celtic. Van Dijk in his 2-year stay in Scotland from 2013 to 2015. And has also got one at Liverpool in 2022. As Diaz. Just drifting out to this right-hand side. He's got Bradley overlapping. He plays it forward to Elliott instead. He's got his back to goal, so relays it into Diaz. To his left to Jones. 1-1-2 with Jota. Jota will turn forward. Can't find a pass. Tackled by Polina, who then is robbed of the ball by Jones, but there was a foul on Polina before that, I think, by Jota, just pulling the Portuguese midfielder ever so slightly. So that'll be a free kick for Fulham, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's very obvious to say, but time is running out for Fulham. And interestingly enough, no Fulham player has scored more than 1 goal this season in the League Cup in their run through to the semi-finals, they've only had one goal scorer of each. The quarter-final against Everton, their goal scorer was an own goal from Michael Keane. But yeah, they've not had an out-and-out goal scorer. As Pelini's ball over the top for Wilson, he tries to bring it down, but his touch goes out of play. And the referee's given a goal kick. He didn't put his flag up for offside there. Pelini's tried a lot of those balls in behind today, and I don't think any of them have actually worked. That one almost did. On the halfway line, playing it in behind Gomez. He was onside as Van Dijk was just holding that Liverpool line slightly deeper. As Liverpool try and play out from the back, volleyed away in the end by Gomez. In behind here, where we chased down by Diaz, who's touched inside. Gets him away from Adarabioyo, and Castagne switches it to the right to Gakpo. In the box, squares it again. It goes behind Diaz though, and Pelini can try and clear, but it's not convincing. Gravenberch, who will strike it wide of the post. Aimed it towards the bottom left corner. Just always just pulling it a little bit there. Ryan Gravenberch with 20 minutes to go, with the Dutchman only scoring the 2 goals so far for Liverpool, both in home games in the Europa League. That was close from the 21-year-old, who has won 2 Dutch Cups himself whilst at Ajax. Ryan Gravenberch, as Leno's ball is long. It comes off the head of Jimenez to Robinson, who nods it down the line, straight out of play. It's a throw for Liverpool. And it's just not been Fulham's night, has it? At all. They have been pretty poor, and I think they're quite fortunate. It's still only 1-0, really. As the throw-in's going to be taken again, because there was a little bit of off the ball pushing and shoving. Bit of tension between Jota and Diop. And Simon Hooper just wants a word with the both of them. Don't want anything to, overflow, and we don't want any fighting on the pitch, do we? Who would want fighting on a football pitch? Who wants any of that? Definitely not me. I want a civilised game. I'm joking. I love it when there's a bit of fire to the game. It's brilliant when you're in the crowd and both two players are going at it, and all the players get involved and the crowd's up for it. It's brilliant. There's a lack of that in the modern game. I'm not promoting violence at all. I just think a little bit of, a bit of handbags. I just think it just adds to the game. And Simon Hooper's going to have another chat to them. He's telling them no more. Oh, God. It's just, oh, my days. Just nothing major. Just a bit of pulling here and there, a bit of a shove. Just let him get on with it. And if any of them go too far with it, give a free kick and book him. Don't know why he's trying to calm it down, Just let Jota try and attack and let Diop defend him. As it is, Fulham on the ball. It's Pelini out to the left to Willian. Right, here we go. Can Fulham work something? In the final third, it's Willian. Not got loads of clear options, but he does find a gap through to Kearney, who moves the ball away from Jones to Robinson. It's now with Pelini. Across to the right centre-back of Adarabioyo, who controls well. Looks forward for a pass. Finds Jimenez, who's onside. Now Pelini out to the right to Castagne. It's a good weighted pass, chested down by the Belgian. Crossed in low, deflects, through to the edge to Pelini, who's going to hit it first time, goes through towards Jimenez, and it deflects. He was deflecting wide of the goal anyway, but it's been kept in by Kelleher, and just didn't quite catch that there, Pelini on the edge of the box, as it fell to him nicely after the deflection off Gomez, and the shot from Pelini was going wide, and then the deflection from Jimenez was also sending it wide, but it was kept in by the goalkeeper. Headed forward by Adarabioyo and halfway towards Wilson. Can't keep it away from Gomez, who's got his head up instantly, and he finds Harvey Elliott in the midfield. And a bit of room here. He'll bring it forward, and he'll release it to Gakpo on the near side. It's now back to Bradley, inside to Elliott. It's now with Jones midway inside the Fulham half. It's now Harvey Elliott. Very calm and composed Liverpool in the possession at the moment when they're in the Fulham half. As the switch out is poor. Castagne's header though goes behind Wilson. Everything for Fulham's just not working. It's always getting to a point where I feel quite bad. So everything they're trying to do is just not clicking for them tonight. As Gomez tries to go past Pelini, but he's caught by the Fulham midfielder, and that'll be a free kick for Liverpool. About 15 yards into the Fulham half. As they're going to make 2 more changes here, Fulham. They're going to bring on number 19, Rodrigo Muniz, the Brazilian striker, who's got the 1 goal in the League Cup so far this season. That came away at Ipswich. And they're also going to bring on right-back Kenny Tete, who has scored against Liverpool so far this season. That was in their 4-3 away defeat at Anfield in the Premier League. Harvey Elliott, a very cute ball out to Diaz on the left, brings it down as well outside the 18-yard box. He's been forced backwards by Castagne, and he finds Gomez, who will put it into the box towards the far post, looking for Gakpo, but it's been seen all the way through for a goal kick there by Anthony Robinson. And it looks like we're going to get these Fulham changes now. Oh, no, we're not. They're going to take the goal kick quickly before they can make the changes. Now with Adarabioyo driving forward outside of his 18-yard box, forward to Wilson. His touch out wide does find Pereira, then back into Wilson. Good bit of play here. Can Jimenez hold his run? He can, and he'll be played through here on the right-hand side. Has to slow the game down, though. He does find the pass in the end to a Fulham man. And it's now back to the left centre-back of Diop. Robinson. Down the line for Willian. He will get there ahead of Quansah. He's been forced out towards the corner flag here, but he keeps the ball away from him. It's now with Robinson again. Forward to Kearney. Willian into the area for Wilson. Touch behind him. Finds Robinson. Back forward to Kearney. Now into Robinson again. Kearney goes over the challenger Gakpo, and that'll be another free kick. On this Fulham left, they're having to work in very tight spaces, Fulham. And that's been the problem. They've not been able to really work around the Liverpool players. As we're going to get that double change now, I think, before the free kick will be taken. Or are they teasing us again? They're still getting some instructions, both players, from Marco Silva, the Fulham manager, and the assistant of Louis Boamarte. Cross goes in. Kearney, header won by Gravenberch to the edge of the box to Willian. Helps it back into the area. Diop goes down over a challenge. Nothing given by the referee. Still with Fulham, though, with Kearney. Finds Pereira. Down the line here for Wilson in the final third. He gets beyond Bradley in the area. Squares it. Deflects it into the back of the net. The flag stays down. It's Issa Diop with the goal. And the semi-final is back on. They've had to be patient. A lot of the stuff they've tried tonight, Fulham, just hasn't come off at all. But eventually, 76 minutes in, they've got beyond the Liverpool defence. They've breached their back line. And Harry Wilson, who's been playing on the right-hand side, found himself on the left-hand side. He received the pass through from Pereira. He was one-on-one with Bradley, took him on. He committed too early, the Liverpool full-back, and he got it into the near post. And the cross went beyond Quansah. Diop got in there ahead of Van Dijk. Didn't know much about it, Diop. He just almost lifted his leg up towards it. And he kneed it beyond Kelleher, off the right knee of Diop. He adjusted well there because the Wilson cross was low and it deflected off the foot of Gomez. And that looped it ever so slightly up into the air, which meant Diop had to readjust and go with his knee. And he got a firm contact on it. Too quick for Kelleher. It's Pereira out to Willian on the left. Just outside the 18-yard box. Robinson's up there with him. Still no substitutes been made. There's Willian, goes down too easily. It's Gakpo on the ball. Gets away from Robinson. Met by the challenge of Pellegrini, but he keeps it Gakpo. And he goes down under the challenge of Pereira. And it's taken over by Jota. He works out to the right here to Elliott. Free kick being given and the goal scorer Diop's going to go in the book here. Jota got the pass off there and then went through Jota. And it's going to be a free kick. And wow, let's just have a breather for a moment. Right. 1-1 on the night. 3-2 on aggregate. So if Fulham equalise on aggregate, then we'll go to extra time. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's still only 3-2 on aggregate. But a great assist from Harry Wilson. Taking on Conor Bradley, who's been so solid for Liverpool since coming into the side for the injured Alexander-Arnold. But he just sold himself too early. Thinking that Wilson was going to go down the outside of him, but instead Wilson went on the inside and got beyond him well too easily. And yeah, Gomez tried to block the cross, eventually deflected it into the knee of Diop, who could work it beyond Kelleher for Issa Diop. That is his first goal of the season. It's his second for Fulham since joining last season from West Ham for £17 million. And I think for Liverpool, this is a little bit of panic now because they should have been more than one up. They've had plenty of opportunities to add to their lead as Harvey Elliott swings it in, nodded into the box by Van Dijk, met by Wilson. Gravenberch to Elliott, who's going to strike it on the volley, doesn't catch it, drags it wide, and it's a goal kick for Fulham, and they've got 11 minutes plus added on time to try and get this second goal of the night. Kearney goes inside to Willian, and they find him. He gets it out to the right here to Wilson in the Liverpool half. They've got the overlap of Castagne. Wilson will go on his own, and it's parried away from goal by Kelleher. I didn't think he got a good contact on that, Kelleher. I thought that might have gone through him and into the back of the net, but he's just able to push it wide. Wilson on off the bench, and he's been a real bright spark, and he's nearly got a goal himself against his former side. But Kelleher was equal to it. He pushed it away. Corner on the near side for Pereira. It's an in-swinger. Those two Fulham changes were never made. Muniz and Tete never came on the field. As Pereira, near post, header won by Gravenberch. Helped away by Jones to the edge of the area. Willian back out to Pereira, who took the original corner. Onto his right foot, crosses it. It's met by the volley of Quansah. And brought down by Jones to Jota, who cannot get away from Robinson, who was the last man. That's brilliant defending. He had to get it right. It's now with Willian on the near side. Through to Wilson again, who's found himself on this left-hand side. Pellegrini trying to play a ball through towards Jimenez, who chests it down. Can he keep it away from Bradley? No, he can't. Nearly drops to Kearney on the edge of the box and eventually volleyed away by Quansah. And this is what Fulham need to continue to bring the chaos. Liverpool are panicking at the back, trying to hurry it clear, and it's causing some slice clearance and just looking like Liverpool have clearly been unnerved by the goal, like any side would. As the game is right in the balance here. Pellegrini, ball over the top into the box towards Robinson. It's well collected by Kelleher, was never letting that one go. Good handling there by the Liverpool second choice goalkeeper. As we're back underway. And it is Diop bringing it forward, slightly overhitting his touch, but he keeps it away from Jones. Kearney back to Diop, switches it out to the left here to Willian. It will reach him ahead of Elliott. Willian in the final third. Works a crossing towards Wilson, met by Van Dijk, volleyed by Quansah in the box. Only as far as Castagne, you can't bring it down. Diop nods forward. Gravenberch touches away, only as far as Castagne. Good switch out to the right by Diop. Pereira, first time cross. It goes all the way through to Willian on the far side. Still alive here for Fulham. Willian can't take on Elliott. Good defending. And he plays it forward here, Elliott, to Bradley. Inside to Gakpo. Met by a very strong challenge of Pellegrini. And that'll be a throw-in for Liverpool. Really good ball there from Andres Pereira first time, right across the 6-yard box. How is no one in a black and white shirt committing to that one? Surely someone's got to throw themselves at it, but no one was there, unfortunately. As we're going to get those two changes now. So Kenny Tete, like-for-like change with Timothy Castagne and Andres Pereira. One Brazilian off for another. He'll be replaced by Rodrigo Muniz, who has been at the club now for 2.5 years. Joined from Flamengo for £6.8 million. So they have got two out-and-out strikers on now, Fulham. And they're actually going to make a third change. Tom Kearney to be replaced by Harrison Reed, who's taken over with the captain's armband. He started the first leg, Harrison Reed, and Kearney was on the bench, but this time it's been roles reversed. And Liverpool are going to make two changes. Cody Gakpo is going to be coming off here for number 42. Bobby Clark, son of Lee Clark, who was formerly a Fulham player from 1999 to 2005. He's making his 5th Liverpool appearance. His 2nd in the League Cup. And Canate will be coming off here. And we're coming on. Oh no, is it a triple change? Oh no. Okay, sorry. Right, so Gakpo and Gravenberch has come off for Bobby Clark and Ibrahima Konate, so it's a back 5 for Liverpool, with 3 in midfield of Clark, Elliott and Jones, and 2 up front of Diaz and Jota. As Diop heads away for Fulham into the Liverpool half. Muniz will chase, nodded down by Quansah. Clark helps it out to the left-hand side here to Van Dijk, who will clear it away. In behind for Diaz, who's going to chase side position. Yes, he is. Free kick for Fulham inside their own half. Diaz wags the finger. He doesn't believe that was offside, but that's what the assistant referee is given. So now with Diop on the edge of the 18-yard box, across to Adarabioyo. As Fulham have got 6 minutes plus added on time to get one more goal to force extra time. Ball forward to the halfway line to Wilson, who's a free and can fire it out towards the left-hand side. It's a really key interception by Bradley, who finds Jones, then returns it towards Bradley, who gets it to Clark, who is caught out in possession by Willie, and who can't work it towards Muniz. It's now with Jota, tackled strongly by Wilson. It goes through into the 18-yard box here for Adarabioyo, who will find the ball to Leno. And it's now with Diop, and a few big challenges going in there in the midfield, and eventually it does fall through for Fulham. Adarabioyo inside his own half. It's now with Paulinho, who's just sat in between the 2 centre-backs at the moment, assessing the options, and he goes out to the left here to Diop. He's now with Leno on the edge of the 18-yard box. Elliott's closing him down, but he finds Adarabioyo, who will play a right-footed ball down the right channel. Can't get it over the head of Van Dijk. He heads it away for Wilson, who keeps it in. Well, as far as Gomez, who lifts it for Diaz. Now with Jota, tackled not late there by Adarabioyo. It goes through for Diaz, who's then tackled fairly by Tete. And that'll be a throw-in right next to the corner flag for Liverpool. Adarabioyo went in with a big challenge there on Jota. And it looks like he might have gotten in late, but obviously he got a nick to the ball. But the ball actually spun in and stayed in play. And Diaz got on the end of it, which meant he had to be tackled by Tete, who's then conceded this throw-in right next to the corner flag on the far side. I'm sorry about that. Gomez. Throw into Jota. It's now back to the halfway line now to Canate. Bradley. Canate on halfway, can close down by Muniz and just about shifts it to Kelleher, who has to come out of his 18-yard box to clear it down the Liverpool right towards Diop, who brings it down towards Adarabioyo, and Jota catches the centre-back late. And that'll be a free kick there. Diop brought it down, just a slight glance into Adarabioyo, but it sold him a bit short. So Jota tried to get there, but it was Adarabioyo to... Oh, no, Jota got there first with the ball, and then they both kicked each other's foot. So I don't know if the ref's given a free kick there, or he's just stopped play because Adarabioyo was down. I'm not too sure. But we're back underway anyway. Even if Jota had gone through on goal, Leno had got there ahead of him, so it's not like they've stopped any goal-scoring opportunities. It's Tete. Ball down the Fulham right. Muniz controls. Van Dijk touches a little bit heavy. Tackle by Reed, but only as far as Canate. Elliott through to Jones, who enters the Fulham half. That's a great ball round the corner by Elliott. He's got Bobby Clark making a run off him. He'll find him here on the left-hand side here for Liverpool. Back into Jones. It's now with Joe Gomez. Van Dijk being forced back to Kelleher. Fulham keeping up this press of forcing Liverpool backwards. Kelleher has to go short. It has to go long, sorry. And it's kicked out of play for a throw-in for Fulham, midway side of their own half. With right back Tete. Looking for some options here. He's a bit short of who to throw it to here, Tete. Throws it down the line to the halfway line. Header won by Van Dijk. Headed forward by Adarabioyo. Helped into the sky by Tete. Nodded on by Muniz. Cut out by Gomez. Flicked on by the header Clark. It's now Diaz. Through to Elliott. First time pass for Jota in the area. Who can't quite take it away from Paulinho. And it's collected anyway by Leno. A little half chance there for Liverpool to finish this game with a third goal. With a second goal of the night. High ball through for Fulham. Dealt with by the head of Van Dijk. Connor Bradley, heavy touch. Last touch comes off the Liverpool fullback. And it'll be thrown for Liverpool to have to defend against. Thrown back to the halfway line to Reed. Across to Diop. On the ball now. Willian. Into Reed. Back out to Willian on this near side. He's halfway inside the Liverpool half. So now back with Diop on halfway. Across to Adarabioyo. So on the opposite flank here to Kenny Tete. He will go for an early cross. It's got height on it. It's a header won by Kanate. Back over towards Tete, the right back. Who's battling with Diaz for it. It eventually drops here for Wilson. Who plays it through for Polina in the box. Now Tete. Chance. Squares it. Muniz. Polina with a volley. And wow, that is wide out for a throw-in. Definitely didn't catch that one, Polina. The best chance there fell for Muniz. As he tried to strike, it came off his standing leg and deflected away to Polina, who then volleyed well wide. Desperately running out of time now, Fulham. They've nearly played the full 90. Obviously, we're going to have a bit of added on time afterwards. Bobby Clark. Clearance is wayward. Out for a throw in here for Fulham. Inside the Liverpool half. Taken to Harrison Reed. So now with Adarabioyo on the halfway line. Goes to his left here to Diop. Through into the midfield for Polina. Pass deflects out wide left to Robinson. We've played the 90 minutes. Robinson. Heavy touch around Bradley. Can't get around the Irishman. And the free kick's won there by the Northern Irish fullback. Anthony Robinson couldn't get around him. So he's tried to pull Bradley back and do everything he can to get around him. And that's resulted in a free kick. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, Robinson just had his arms around him. Not quite being able to get through Bradley. The Northern Irish right back. As we've got 4 minutes of added on time. Not lots of time left. We've already played 35 seconds of it. Is Fulham's run in this League Cup coming to an end. They have never reached a semi-final before in their history. This is their first ever. And it looks like it's maybe a step too far for them. As Diop heads away the free kick. As far as Elliott, who lifts it down the right-hand side to Jota. Towards the corner flag. He keeps it in. Robinson nearest to him. He goes backwards to Elliott, whose ball forward towards Clark will be kept in by the youngster. Right on the corner flag. He's shielding the ball. And it's a last touch off Elliott. Throwing for Liverpool. Polina, the enforcer, came in there to make sure that they were able to move the ball out of that corner as quickly as possible for them. Robinson throws it to Willian. Back to Robinson, who clears it down the line. Can Jimenez keep it in? It is swinging out of play. And it'll be a throw-in on the halfway line for Liverpool. Be taken by Connor Bradley. 2.5 minutes left to play. Currently 1-1 at the moment. Throw-in. Headed away by Robinson. Controlled by Jones in the Fulham half. Then through to Jota. Nods it down to Elliott. Lifts a ball in behind towards Diaz. Cut out by the head of Diop. Can he avoid the corner? He can. Stays in. Robinson then volleys away. Only as far as Kwanzaa, who has time to control and play back out to the right-hand side where no one's there for Liverpool. 2 minutes to play. Throw in for the home side. In their own half. Throws it across the box to Adarabioyo, who's just about able to shift it away from Diaz. Now Tete. Forward to Reed. As we enter the Liverpool half. Down the line for Wilson. Last touch off Clark. Throwing for Fulham. Taken quickly by Wilson to Polina. Pushed in the back by Kwanzaa, not given. And then a kick forward by Wilson. What on earth is that? Talk about panic. That is awful. Polina went down under a challenge and then the ball dropped to Wilson, who just decided, oh, you know what, let's just boot it forward to no one for no reason and just give the ball away. That is a lack of composure there from Harry Wilson, and it's given a goal kick for Liverpool with just over a minute to play. Keller has been booked for time wasting, but I don't think he'll care in the slightest, the Irish goalkeeper. He was in net for the last final against Chelsea, so I'm presuming Klopp will keep him in for the final this year as well, which is good to see. The second choice goalkeeper seeing the tournament through. Header away on the halfway line by Tete. Nodded on by Wilson. Volleyed away by Kwanzaa. It's up in the air. Who will win it? Clark will bring it down. Bit of bouncing off a couple of plays there and eventually sliced out of play for a throw in here for Fulham. Midway inside the Liverpool half. On that far side. They've got 30 seconds left to try and create something. It's Diop on the halfway line. Robinson back into Diop again. He's got to have to send this one long, and he will do towards Jimenez on the right-hand side. Just about keeps it in. That's a great header. Wilson turning on Gomez. Plays it behind him here to Jimenez. Pokes it through towards Tete. Drops in the end for Wilson, who's coming back from an offside position. And that will be a free kick in a left-back area for Liverpool. The 4 minutes have been played, and I think that could be that for Fulham. As Harry Wilson's booked for a bit of dissent, as he didn't agree with that offside decision by the assistant referee. And for the last 10 minutes, Fulham have not done enough since scoring to try and get an equaliser on aggregate at all. Kelleher with the free kick sends it into the Fulham half. Whistle not been blown yet. Loose touch by Diaz, and that'll be that. Fulham's historic night ends in disappointment. Liverpool through to a second League Cup final in 3 seasons, defeating Fulham over 2 games by 3-2 on aggregate. A 2-1 win at Anfield 2 weeks ago gave them the platform to build this League Cup journey up to a final. And a goal in the 11th minute through Luis Diaz gave Liverpool a 2-goal cushion. He brought down a ball which was played to him by Quansah, chested touch, got into the box. He had the shot deflected off Palhinha, back off his foot into the near post, which was tipped onto the post by Leno, but he couldn't keep it out. And Fulham, in all fairness, tried to match Liverpool, but their free-flowing football wasn't quite working like it usually does. And they were able to get one back in the 76th minute. Issa Diop converting a Harry Wilson cross at the near post off his knee, going beyond Kelleher. But once that goal was scored in the 76th minute, Fulham just didn't do enough going forward to get that second goal of the night to send it to extra time. When looking back, they'll be very frustrated with themselves that they weren't able to cause more for Liverpool in those final stages. Marco Silva looks very defeated. It's a game which means that Fulham will not reach another English Cup final for the first time since 1975. The wait for silverware will continue. But it is Liverpool who have gone through, and it will be a repeat of the 2022 final between Chelsea and Liverpool. That one ended 0-0, and Liverpool were able to win that on penalties as the shootout went all the way through to the goalkeepers. And I think it'll definitely be a night where Fulham look back and they will have some regrets. I think just the way they weren't able to really put any pressure on Liverpool at the end there. You know, you're chasing a goal, you've got to make them feel like they've got to really go through the full effort to earn it. But it was quite an easy end to the game in the end for Liverpool. They really professionally saw out that additional time. You know, just took away any momentum that Fulham could have tried to have built by keeping the ball in the Fulham half as much as possible, taking it towards the corner. And it does mean that Liverpool have done enough to see themselves through to the final. Great comments as always, cheers mate, thank you very much. Like I say, under Klopp, they haven't done. You know, they've done okay in the League Cup. They've only won it once under Klopp. They got to a final. In his first season. They then got to the semi-finals the season after, but then they went on a 2-season run of third-round exits. Then they got to the quarterfinals in 2020, then the fourth round in 2021, but then the final in 2022, and now into a final again in 2024. And in just over a month's time, Liverpool will be travelling back to London to play in the League Cup final. One of 4 trophies they're after. They're leading the Premier League. They're still in the FA Cup. They are through to the round of 16 in the Europa League. So they're going for a quadruple of their own. And this is a big step towards that. They're through to the final as they are looking to hit double figures for League Cup titles. If they win it this season, it will be their 10th. And they've got a nice opponent, really. You know, Chelsea aren't the Chelsea that we've known over recent years. You know, the Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel that took Liverpool to 2 finals in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, all the way to penalties. You know, they're going to be taking a Maurizio Pochettino side that can be vulnerable, that can be poor on their day. So Liverpool will go into that final as very strong favourites, but that doesn't mean they can take it easy. It's a cup final at the end of the day, and anything can happen, that is for sure. But for Fulham, it just wasn't meant to be. In their first ever League Cup semi-final, they probably came up against the hardest team they could face in Liverpool, who are probably the most informed team at the moment in the country. And, you know, they've only ever reached 2 major finals, Fulham, and only one in England, the FA Cup final in 1975, where they were defeated, and then they were also beaten in the 2010 Europa League. So they don't get to many finals, and it's another incident today where they haven't reached the final stage of the competition. But they'll go again next season. They've had a good run, but they have once again took Liverpool all the way. You know, the last five times these two teams have played, Liverpool, if they've won, they've only won by 1 goal. When they last played Fulham at Craven Cottage, it was a 2-2 draw in August 2022. And then the game later on that season was only a 1-0 win for Liverpool after a penalty from Salah. Then the first game this season between the two at Anfield in the Premier League was 4-3. And then the first leg of the semi-final was 2-1 and then 1-1 today. So under Marco Silva, Fulham do usually give Liverpool a very tough game. And they have again tonight, but it just wasn't enough to see them through to at least extra time. It has seen them beaten on aggregate 3-2. But obviously it's a team that Liverpool do find harder to play against. Obviously not that difficult because they've not lost against Fulham for the last 5 meetings. But, you know, the fact that when Liverpool have won, it's only been by 1 and then the others have been draws obviously shows that against this Marco Silva side, you know, they do find it a bit harder to pick up these positive results. But this is a very positive one, reaching the League Cup final. And can Liverpool make it League Cup number 10? We'll wait and see in a month's time. That is going to be the end of this live commentary from Craven Cottage. If you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. 2 more commentaries coming at the end of this week. It is on Saturday, 12:30, FA Cup 4th round. We've got Ipswich of the Championship taking on Maidstone of the National League South. Could we get a huge upset there? That would be absolutely brilliant, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we're going to try and get another upset on the Sunday at 4:30. Newport County of League 2 will be taking on the Premier League Giants of Manchester United. That should be a tasty one in Wales for that one in Newport. So make sure you check out the 2 commentaries at the weekend in the FA Cup 4th round. And yeah, subscribe, like, keep supporting the channel as much as you can. It is more than appreciated, and it really does help the channel out. All the likes and the subscribers, and just staying for the whole stream. That helps the most. Watching all these streams. Go check out some of the other videos I've done. I've done some Football Manager saves. I know they're a bit outdated. They're from a few years ago, but there's still some good watches. But no, thanks to everyone who has tuned in tonight. Make sure you check out the 2 commentaries at the weekend. But for tonight, that is going to be the end of this live stream. If you did enjoy, like and subscribe. But here from Craven Cottage, Liverpool had a 1-goal lead. They made it 2 early on, but they were cut back to all level in this game to 1-1. Issa Diop with the late goal. It made it 3-2 an aggregate, but they just couldn't quite pile on enough pressure to Liverpool to really make them crumble, to get that game to extra time. They fall short by 1 goal here at Craven Cottage. It ends Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, and an aggregate it's 3-2. And Liverpool are through to the League Cup final, where they'll take on Chelsea in a month's time.